Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass Broncos we all like to drive, this is your All-Terrain Nation, presented by All-Terrain Nation. What am I doing? It's like I haven't done this in a couple weeks. This is Bronco Talk Live, presented by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. If you guys want some rock sliders, I say it every week, and I mean it every week. All they ask is just go to their website. They're not going to throw out some fancy discount code or anything. They just make rock sliders, and they make, in my opinion, the best in the industry. So you guys want to check those out, whiteknuckleoffroadproducts.com. Go over there, check them out. John and Natalie over there would appreciate that, and that's all they want. That's it. That's no more, no less. Just go check their website out, and they think they'll sell you on the rest from there. So this is Bronco Talk Live, and we got a jam-packed show. I've got windows open. What you can see in my studio here is it's crazy. And Kelly's making some last minute. She'll be up here in just a minute, but we got a fun one tonight. And speaking of fun people, we gotta bring in Miss Allie. What is going on, Miss Allie?
What's going on?
Well, you looked like you were in the middle of eating dinner or something. What's going on there?
Hey, that's what happens when you work until 8 and then have to rush home. Actually, I was just thinking on my way home, I don't remember the last show that I did. It's been a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's like I've had press trips or just softball BS going on, and just but that's gone now. No more problems.
You mean life happened?
I know, weird. It's weird.
What?
But then Silly Ford throws out hey, do you want to go check out some Raptors? And I was like, well, the Raptors okay, I guess. But then they're like, no, you're gonna get to drive these things as hard as you want. And I was like, you're damn right I want to go to that. And Kelly's over here going, you did put my name with that invite too, right? And I was like, I made her twist a little bit. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna let you go. Of course they're gonna let you go, Kelly. But we had a lot of fun there. We're gonna get into that talk in a little bit. But Allie, how's things going, man? There's no Mustang in my driveway. I can say that. So
there's not. It still says the 20th. So we'll see if that changes on the 20th.
Hey Ford, if those dates meant something, I'd buy a flight.
Right? If they didn't always move.
I'm gonna be on a red eye somehow trying to fly to Detroit.
Right. I mean, Maverick order bank opened today.
Yep. I think our buddy Tim Bartz had 500 orders he had to put in today.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It kept crashing on us. It was insane. So I'll deal with it tomorrow.
That's tomorrow's problem, right?
It's tomorrow's issue. I'm not doing it today.
Well, hey, and I want to get to this before it gets kind of too late. I noticed that you, Michigan Off-Road or Bronco Club up there has got something fun going on, right?
So I had a very fun phone call today.
I know. I saw you labeled everybody in this thing.
Pretty much. I mean, I got a call from Michigan Assembly Plant saying, hey, August 12th, we want Broncos to show up for our family fun day. Can you make it happen? I said, be careful what you wish for. So as of right now, we have 30 or 40 reservations, people saying yes, but I'm hoping we can get 100. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome, man. First off, I have to, Andrea, every time you come in, dude, you're greatly appreciated, man. We greatly appreciate all that support, sir. And thank you for joining in. Yeah, so I'm trying to get my schedule changed around where I can actually be up there too, because I was like, hell, that sounds like a fun party, man. I want to go.
I'm kind of excited. So I don't know too much. I know that they're going to open the plant, and we're going to be able to see some of it. So if you're new to Ford, just know this doesn't happen. You can't just go walk up into a plant, and they're going to have an area open that we can see some Broncos, see some things getting built, maybe a Ranger Raptor.
You know who Ranger Raptor? That's like a sore spot right now, Allie. I didn't get my VIN yet. Anyways, but no, that's really exciting, and like you said, they don't do that. I know Nissan here, when they first opened the plant in the early '80s, they let people the locals tour the plant and stuff. But no, shut these things down. Obviously, there's safety concerns. I know with tours they do here, you have to stay on a cart. They drive you around to show you what's going on while the plant's in operation. So that's a big deal, man. So
yeah, it was really cool when he had texted me. He texted me and he goes, hey, do you have time to talk? I'm like, yep, between this time and this time. And he calls me and he goes, hey, last minute, I need a favor. We need as many Broncos as we can get. I'm like, game on. We can do this. If you've been to a Michigan Bronco Club event, We don't mess around. We have 100 to 130 every single time. So
I know my events, my best event, I think I had 95 Xteras show up to a Nissan event that we put on, and that was a really good Nissan event. I remember going up to the Michigan thing y'all did at Holly Oaks going, well, okay. I was at least, I mean, I had organization and stuff, but I didn't have the vehicles they have. So yeah, okay, it's a new game.
It was a good time. I'm excited. It'll be fun.
I wanted to make sure everybody knows in this chat that we get a lot of rewatches on this stuff. So, you know, go join Michigan Bronco Club there on Facebook, Instagram, and all those places. Go check them out. I know they put details up there for that kind of stuff and a lot of fun stuff. And that's seriously, like, that would make me want to drive the 500. So potentially I have to drive in a week, maybe, hopefully, to fly up to go get a Mustang, drive it back down.
And then drive your Bronco back up.
The 5th, I'm traveling to Cincinnati, so that kind of sucks because I think there was something. Oh, the Dune things is going on August 5th, if I remember right.
Yeah, August 4th and 5th.
So I was trying to figure out how can I put my dad basically on a plane in Cincinnati so I can just then drive to there, and then now it's like I just might as well move to Michigan, and you know that hurts to say because
that took a lot. Did that? Are you okay?
No, I'm not. But go Buckeyes. No, I'm not. I'm never. I hate winter, so no worries of that. It would be great for my business, though. And speaking of great for business, we got some guests in the green room, as it were. And first off, I'm going to bring in Mr. Justin Murray, and you guys are going to want to know Justin because Justin puts on the best. And I'm not saying this to just be funny. It's the best Jeep event I've ever seen. The great what is it, Jeep Invasion, Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. Sorry, Justin, your names, I get them all mixed up, and I'll bring you in here in just a second. But I stand by this. Me and Kelly went last year. We covered the event. Just wanted to see what it was like. Some Jeep friends of mine are like, dude, this is a party. It's like, it's not just like come look at some aftermarket parts, you know, burn up in the Tennessee sun. No, it's a weekend of like just fun. Like all these Jeep clubs, it's kind of a last hurrah, as it were, for end of summer kind of gatherings. And I think this the Bronco version they're going to put on, the Stampede, has got the potential to do the exact same thing. And you know, there's no doubt there's a little rivalry. So I'm just going to throw it out there that we need some Bronco people there because the next weekend Jeep shows up, but Jeeps are bringing the big vendors in. So let's do this. Let's bring in Mr. Justin Murray. With Justin, I'm going to butcher your event name, but Great Smoky Mountain Stampede. And I think it throws me off because I think you guys initially called it something else, right?
We did. We called it the Bronco Invasion. So
and there's like 400 Bronco Invasions now.
Yeah. And so a lot of the Jeep people kind of took offense to that. You know, they wanted to kind of keep the invasion on their terms and their show. So we changed it to Stampede.
I can understand that. I mean, you've had this is your 11th year, I think we were talking for Jeep.
Yeah. Yep. This will be our 11th year for the Jeep Invasion.
So I want to start with this a little bit. What makes a man go crazy and decide, hey, I mean, because I've put on events, like I said earlier, I did stuff for Nissan, never to the scale that you guys get to do, but it's a 365-day planning. It's not a cool, well, here's the date, we'll just gather some people and that'll be it. What made you decide, hey, I need to take on Jeeps? And I'm assuming it started small, right?
Yeah, it did. I've been passionate about Jeeps, and my grandfather had a Jeep, he had a Bronco, and so I've been involved with the community for a long time, and we started the Smoky Mountain Jeep Club. And then everything just kind of exploded from there. I think Allie can understand what I'm talking about. When you get the club together and camaraderie, it really kind of just blows up.
Yeah. But what were the first years of of the Jeep side of this?
So the first years, we had small crowds, 30 to 40 to a club event, which we would do like monthly. We do like a monthly ride. But then we did the Jeep show, the first one. We had about 300 Jeeps there behind a store called Jeepism, which is now the Jeep Cades Cove outpost in Townsend, Tennessee.
Yeah, I've been there.
And then we moved it to Pigeon Forge. The island had just been renovated. It sat empty for years, and they had built a new parking lot and said, "Hey, come up here and do your little Jeep show." And we had about 1,000 that second show of Jeeps. And then from there on, it just increased. We've had about a 30% growth from year to year, and so that has really multiplied over the years.
Well, and like I feel like it is a good for there's a lot of people up north, and guys, we're getting into Bronco. This is all going to lead somewhere, but I feel like the time of year, August is still a little bit. Last year was hot as hell, man. I'm not going to lie, it was hot as hell at the Jeep one.
Yeah.
But it's a good for people up north who's kind of starting to get into fall, even by August. I remember going to Detroit in August, going, "Damn, it's cold out here at night. What is going on?" So I think it's a good way of people coming down, kind of getting a couple days of nice warm weather and park their Jeeps. Is that kind of what the thought process, and even with Broncos, is that kind of what your thought process, the time period?
Yeah, I mean, come in, check out the show. There's lots to see in Pigeon Forge. There's lots of trails in the area, so there's a lot to enjoy.
Yeah, no, and it is a great town for all kinds of events. Of course, there's Mustang events over there. There's I think there might be another Jeep event or something. It's like it's a great town to invite like 100 of your friends and just watch it grow. But so you do this. There's the what do they call the event center over there?
The LeConte Convention Center.
Right. And so you have that on the inside. And I know last year for the Jeep thing, you had a bunch of big YouTubers and that stuff come in. You had Nitto. You had a lot of big companies come in. And what got my attention was going to see that. And then you guys had your banner up for Broncos. And what got my attention was when I saw the dates, I was like, this makes perfect sense because you're already attracting the big vendors. And if this was just a standalone date for Bronco, those big vendors aren't coming out because it's unproven. They don't know the audience, the crowd that's going to be there. So I was like, man, this guy is on it because he's pairing these up the week after week, and it makes sense for these big vendors to come out.
Right. We have about 250 aftermarket vendors that come to the Jeep Invasion. So it was easy for us to pull from that vendor pool and pull them into the Bronco show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who can we expect to be there?
Man, I got a whole list here. I got 50 so far for the Bronco event. I will pull that up right now. And some of our sponsors, of course, Nitto. We've got Bartac, Havoc Off-Road. We've got Rock Jock 4x4, Rock Slide Engineering, Buck Your Bronco. We got a Hankook Tire, Armor Light's bringing their stuff, Best Top, and the list goes on. I mean, it's just all your top-notch vendors. Best Top's going to be there. Toyo Tires. I can just keep going on and on and on.
Right.
So it's a good.
Allie's big with Best Top. She loves Best Top products, so that'll be. Hey, Allie, take this for just a second for me.
I'm repping Best Top all over my Bronco, so
Nice.
I have their top and their fenders. So I was actually back in October. They had me test the Skyrider top, and I had to not post pictures. Basically be off of social media, so everyone knew something was going on when I was not posting pictures of my Bronco. They're a good team, though.
Yeah, and they make a quality product. I mean, it's top notch.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, do you see any new people coming for Bronco that aren't going for Jeep, or is everyone pretty much staying the whole time?
I think that we got a lot of people coming in early to see the Bronco show. A lot of Jeep people coming in.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that just kind of want to see it. They want to see the Broncos. I feel like there was a lot of interest from the Jeep people in the Bronco market.
Hey, I took 3 Jeeps in on trade for their Broncos this last week, so
I have no doubt.
Kelly's back.
Jazz hands.
Yes, and we now have Kelly Cam. So
turn that Kelly Cam off. What the hell is that?
Look, you can actually look and talk to people now.
Nice, turn it off.
He did.
Hey,
Denied.
Tony, if you knew the trouble I got in this weekend, I'm not pissing Mama Bear off right now. So
It's just best.
So Justin, obviously you said you're a Jeep guy, but you seem to be a promoter. So you see a good thing with Broncos, like cool. There's a chance to help promote that a little bit. And you said Jeep guy kind of gave you a little bit of crap maybe about using their name. Was that pretty quick of like, hey, what are you doing there?
That was very quick. That was very like, hey, we don't remember the Broncos invading any country in a war or anything like that. It's like, okay, all right.
Hey, but Ford did build Jeeps though.
No, they did. They were contracted. You're definitely correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they built more than the other brand actually.
They did. They certainly did.
But they didn't keep Bronco around either. OJ seemed to off the Bronco for a while. So, anyways, Nobody, no stars. Hey, stars, don't drive Jeeps and like do that to your family, please. So, anyways, so what? So I'm assuming the convention center is full of sponsors, and then you're going to start moving stuff out like you do Jeep.
Yeah, actually, we already have some outside vendors for the Bronco show. So
Nice.
yeah, we got Nito's going to be out there. We got some audio vendors that's going to be out there, pumping some music out, showcasing their products. So yeah, we got a little outdoor section too.
Oh, nice, man. Because I was real curious about that because our friends with Diabolical, I know they'll be there. They were supposed to actually use our Bronco, and then Alan's like, "Look, man, my Bronco got wrapped up, and it's actually I'm just leaving it on the East Coast for a while, and I'm going to use it." And I was like, "Cool, I actually have something to drive around."
Mustang.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Mustang.
subject right now with Allie. She don't want to hear Mustang talk right now.
Just Mustang. Hey, I'm late to the party, so have a little grace with me. That's all.
That's okay.
But yeah, I know in clubs, I know the Tennessee Bronco Club, I know they're trying to get a big group going.
Mm-hmm.
Will the club parking be out in that big parking lot as well? Or
Yes, sir, it will be. Yep.
oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, I know you've been to East Tennessee for the Supercell stuff, man. What would it take to get somebody from your area of Oklahoma to drive that far to see this thing?
I don't think it's that far, is it? Where's it at?
It's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know exactly where that's at. In relation to Nashville, where is it?
Knoxville.
Oh, the Knoxville area.
A little
basically.
further than Nashville.
Okay.
About 2 hours.
Correct.
Yeah, I can
Yep.
pull that off. I can pull that off.
Hey, Tony, can you pull your mic a little closer?
Hello.
There we go. Just because you drove a Raptor this week doesn't mean that you can just distance yourself from.
He
the
thinks
band.
his voice is super big.
I thought I might have too much bass in my voice after this weekend.
Boys hanging a little low, huh?
Yeah.
So with the event, I know there's some Jeep clubs that do rides and stuff. Are you anticipating the same thing for Broncos?
Yeah, I think so. I think people will be doing their own thing with clubs, and it's just a solo Bronco deal, going on a trail and exploring the area. I think that's going to happen. And it's happened with us in the past with our Jeep events.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I remember last year, I think there was something. I know there was something in a parking lot. They were driving behind one of the malls. I think they were charging people to do some off-roading up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Mountain Mile Shopping Center. We do the trail course behind that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool place. A lot of cool restaurants right there too.
Oh man, no, like your area is so. Other than the walking I had to do when Diabolical was like, "Hey, I need you to try this part for your Gladiator," the fact that I had to walk all the way from the convention center a mile or so down, down that way and pick up, and it was hot as hell as is, but there's that nice overlook where you can see the parking lot when you're up on that road, and I remember taking it in and going.
In your defense, though, we were like late arrivers.
Yes.
So we made no plans for parking or anything. So we kind of parked where we could find a spot.
We're showing that's what we call that. we're hanging with the common folk.
So
but no, I
Jason
remember
wants to know,
like
where
there
do
was
you
so
park?
many. Do what?
I said Jason wants to know. So where do you park for the event?
Good question.
So there is about 3,000 parking spots right there next to the convention center.
Okay.
Just about 3,000. I think that we can handle that.
Well, do you want to blow their mind and tell them how many Jeeps were there last year?
We had well over 20,000.
What?
We had 43,000 people in attendance. We know that much for sure. So we just kind of have to guesstimate how many Jeeps are there. It's just so many.
Yeah. No.
All right, Bronco people, we really need to.
Sounds like I need a bigger trailer so I can bring the Gladiator and the Bronco out there.
Yeah, and just stay for 2 weeks.
Yeah, for you it would be a 2-week. Justin would greatly appreciate that too.
Yeah.
The city of Pigeon Forge would greatly appreciate that as well.
100%.
Yeah, it was fun because you guys do. I know, is it the Friday night where everybody sits out and they do kind of the parade and stuff?
Yeah, so there's a large parkway. It's 3 lanes on each side, and it is bumper to bumper Jeeps throughout that parkway when we do the Jeep show. And
yes, well, I'm scared because I'm asking that because I'm hoping that some of the Bronco people now were Jeep folks that kind of can bring some of that fun. I mean, obviously each event needs to find their own unique part of it, but that's such a big deal at the end of the kind of show, like the big drive that y'all do. Mm-hmm. And then there was the underpass or whatever. There's some big party that happens.
Yeah, that's a Quaker Steak and Lube after party.
Yeah.
And that gets pretty wild there. Yeah.
I've
And a
seen
lot of this stuff,
videos.
yeah, this whole cruising the strip and the after parties, I didn't really start off right off the bat with our Jeep show. There was a few years there, 2 or 3 years that we didn't do that kind of stuff. It just kind of organically happened as the crowd came in and then the need was there.
Right, which is part of the fun of that to me is like when the consumers of these events sort of start making it their own thing, and they have a routine or you know, I mean, I know some of this wasn't like you guys were like, man, we have the ultimate plan. Let's create the ultimate party. You guys are probably pulling your hairs out just trying to make sure everybody has a good time at the event. But I love the fact our little Nissan event would do that. They just it sort of became its own entity after a while, and they just
A true community.
yeah, and did their own thing. So I'm hoping with Bronco that can happen. Now, my only bummer is the weekend of Woodward Dream Cruise, and we talked about this.
Me and Justin have already talked about this.
I've heard all about this.
But for your deal, it has to be. I know it has to be that way. But
yeah, if I try to do it the weekend after the Jeep invasion, it's just too far into the school year, and you know, we want the kids to be there. So
yeah.
We totally get that. So Bronco 78 Adventures asked, has Georgia Broncos claimed a big spot for Bronco Stampede? Yeah.
No, they have not. And I've been talking to Brian Florer there about that, and I've been trying to convince him to come up, and hopefully he'll make some appearance there.
That's right. Us Tennessee boys will take care of that problem for you, man.
Craig.
We'll use that spot.
You gotta You gotta work on him, Craig.
That's right.
Al, you got any questions? What's going on? Tony, you got anything? Y'all jump in.
No.
I just
Me and
checked.
Justin actually talk a lot from time to time.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, that's kind of my job. I network with a lot of people, chat, and
I gotta say,
what I'm good at.
You're doing a fantastic job on advertising it, though. Like,
thank you.
Like, I am very impressed with it. I was so bummed to find out as soon as it was the same as Woodward Dream Cruise. So I'm really hoping it's not next year.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Or now I'll just have to do one year and one the other, and just kind of swap back and forth.
Yeah, why not?
And then Allie and us will be opposites every year.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's how we work.
It is. We're what do we
No,
ships
Justin,
passing in the
seriously,
night.
me and Kelly went to the same ladies off-rodeo event, and like we knew of each other. We're in the same room as each other, still don't like
having
recognize
breakfast,
each other,
lunch,
say
and
anything.
riding.
Like, oh yeah, you were there.
That's hilarious.
What a deal.
So I have your website up, man, and it's got all the details, guys. I'll put a link. I put it in the description of this video, so if you're curious about it, and we'll drop one in here in just a second. But I mean, the pricing of it's not crazy by any means. Obviously, I'm sure we're gonna break even at this point. Just let's not go red here. But
sure, yeah.
But what, $5 per kid, 5 through 12, and then ages 5 under free, and mom and dad are going to be where was it, 15. So not ridiculous, I don't think, to go check out all this fun and help be a part of something. The first year, it's always special. You can say, hey, I knew it when I could actually park right here. That's what you could say, and I think Justin would be very happy by that.
Yeah. I mean, $15 gets you in. It gets you some great deals on some of these parts for your Bronco. There's a lot of freebies going around, a lot of giveaways, so it's a good deal.
I always see kids with bags, so there's stickers or something somewhere, and kids love stickers, man.
Yeah, I mean,
are you kidding me? Adults love stickers. That's all they're trading now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's only 800 miles from my house, so.
Oh, he's doing the math.
Winnie, did you get all these?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, of course he did. We're not special.
Oh, you're
started a show, put all this money into this, and I'm not special. Thanks, Ford.
You got to go before Tony.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. I'm sure he's in here somewhere. That's the VIP after party where we talked to Jordan.
He still got helicopter lag from him being privately flown in, probably.
Right. Yeah. Or he's in Cancun right now or something.
Bahamas.
Well, he's a world traveler. He's probably in Iceland changing a tire.
Probably. Getting video.
I want to go to Iceland so bad.
Yeah, same. I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah, I want to go.
I know, it's total deja vu.
He keeps so Jordan keeps teasing about like maybe going. I'm like, I will jump on that trip so fast. I will sell whatever. We're going.
There's gonna be
Allie's
this
selling
big Bronco
plasma.
Nation Iceland thing, and he's not even gonna know about it.
Right? You're like, that's it. We're all going without them.
Wait, my job does happen to be changing soon. I could make
No,
Iceland happen.
no. That happens, then we turn
Kelly,
this cam
yes.
back on. We Kelly cam back on.
Yes, 100% yes.
So
Allie needs a co-pilot.
I do.
Just saying.
she has her
'Cause
dog.
she can't take Maya to
I'm not
Iceland.
taking them Maya to Iceland. Are you kidding me?
No,
If
okay,
anything
that's why
happened to
she's not
her,
taking Maya
I'd
to-
die.
Yeah. See?
Oh man.
Just let the new employer know that I have this bucket of time that I cannot work because I have
Exactly.
a pre-planned trip.
Sure.
And I'll let this employer know too.
Okay. You're fired.
You heard that, folks in the chat. I'm fired.
We'll start one. It's okay.
There you go.
Whoa. That crap's already I've
Ladies
interviewed
off-road.
I've
just
interviewed
saying.
people and suddenly they have their own live streams. I'm like, look, man, I didn't interview you for that crap. I don't need competition. No.
On the job training, right?
That's right. I'm trying to get Tony to start his own podcast. So
Like the restart
Justin,
podcast.
is there an end date that people can register online or
Says no,
Or, yeah,
not
can you
available
just, like,
online.
show-
If you'd
can you
like
just,
more
like, show
information on
up?
how to become a vendor, email here.
Yeah, but you said you're talking about registration for like our show and
for
shine competition.
normal folk, yes.
Oh, normal folk can come in and just pat the door if they want to. But if you want to put your Bronco in a competition, then yeah, you can register online. That's pretty easy. That'll
Is it
be
an
open.
off-roader competition where you drink them drive through mud and see which one the 2.3 or the 2.7 buys first?
No, it's more of a just show off your Jeep and show and shine type of deal.
Wait, whoa. We're not showing the Jeeps off there. See, you've been in this game, this Jeep game.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. That's blasphemy, isn't it?
That's all right.
I apologize.
I from time to time put the wrong show intro on, so don't worry about it. It's okay. It's all
Okay.
good.
More than once.
And I about did it again tonight. I caught myself. So guys, go get your hotel rooms now. Do y'all have a partner hotel that you're working with? I thought I saw something, right?
Yeah, we do. We have the Black Fox Lodge. They're right next to the convention center. And the Ramsey Hotel is right across the parkway. Both great places. I highly recommend both of them. They got a discount code that you can use to get a discount on the room.
Okay. And a lot of this is on their website, guys. So if you go over to Great Smoky Mountain, your website kills me. It's the SM or something Stampede.
Yeah. Great Smoky Mountain Stampede.
There we go. So I'm gonna throw the website in here so we won't be so chaotic if you guys at home want to play along. I recommend though we've stayed in Gatlinburg honestly, and the last year and had a blast because after the event we did all the whiskey or the moonshine tastings and stuff, and then
Down the street,
stumbled into that little pub. What was that little?
The little Irish pub there in the corner down there.
I don't.
It's
and I
very
sang
touristy,
karaoke.
but it's so fun.
Yeah, but I as a former performer, I don't have any respect for karaoke, and I was singing karaoke. I was so hammered, man. It was. See what Jeeps do to us. See, we're responsible people with Broncos.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
I'm paying out of that one.
Right. So Justin, sell us on it. You got 10 minutes here. Sell us on this. Why should people come? You will be graded at the end of it. You will get an A through F experience. And no, I'm serious. Like, we'll give you a couple more minutes here. What is give us the why they should, man.
50 vendors, Pigeon Forge, Great Smoky Mountain National Park, most visited national park in the nation. There's so much to do here. You can go to the Bronco show. You can go down the street and snow tube down a hill, an indoor snow tubing place. You can horseback ride. You can go to jet boats on the street. I mean, there's everything you can think of, and all the Bronco stuff there. All the Bronco vendors, there's show deals. I mean, it's a big party for Broncos. I don't know why anybody that wouldn't want to come to a Bronco party if it has a Bronco. So
there you go, guys.
There you go.
Anytime there's a
See, I like he
Bronco
has it
event,
down.
the
It's like
community
bam.
is fantastic.
And there's Flavortown, guys. If you're into Guy Fieri, there is Flavortown.
Flavortown's cool. Junction 35, Azul Cantina is just about to open over there, just down the street. It's got a rooftop bar. I mean, they're building 10 hotels right now in Pigeon Forge right now.
That's
and
crazy.
So that place is just blowing up.
insane.
That Azul, is that the one that they were building last year between REI and the 65? Like,
Yes, ma'am.
all
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Andy,
Oh,
come on, bro.
no.
Hey,
Here
at
we-
least we gave you warning ahead of time and you didn't just try to show up somewhere.
Yeah,
Just saying.
you weren't on somebody's forum and they didn't tell you they canceled their event.
Wow, Dave. I wasn't going to go that far.
I will. I was very nice to her this weekend, and she
Stop.
wasn't nice back. So,
Oh my
anyways,
gosh. Let's be
anyways,
professional.
I'm very
Oh,
so
man.
This is gonna get good.
guys, you guys know I love
Hey.
poking the bear once in a while.
It is what it is.
So
that
funny.
is
My
true.
gosh.
We will be there. So I'm definitely trying to figure out a way to wiggle my way into a vendor's booth of sorts so that we can have
I reached out to a couple.
our ATN booth that you guys can come hang out and maybe have our Bronco there. So if Justin is like, willing to have us, we might finagle something.
Definitely.
Where?
I'm trying to go next year.
My door's open.
There you
My
go.
door's
See,
open.
and then you could Tony. Maybe we could get Tony since Allie's snubbing us like this.
It's only 800 miles.
I already had commitments for Woodward, and I told Justin this like
She did. She did. All fairness.
Yeah, but Tony's got a Raptor, so he could he'll be cooler
All
there.
right,
anyway.
next year I promise I will be there.
Yeah, it says 8 hours on the GPS, but the Raptor can get there in a much shorter time, I'm sure, right?
It's I-40. I'm screwed.
You'll fall asleep on that road.
15 hours.
Tony's like, wait, we can figure out how to get there. We're taking this road.
Yeah.
He's already mapping it out.
No, he
did.
doesn't need roads. He learned that this
I don't-
past week.
Yeah, I get up to 88 mile an hour and I don't need roads.
Wow, we didn't get 88.
Go
I
over
didn't either.
anything for
I
8.
know
didn't
the
even
movie
try.
reference, but I figured he might have actually
No.
gotten up to 88.
I got to about 65.
I didn't even
Sorry.
try.
I saw that video. And you got kind of fussed at it a little bit, didn't you? By the co-pilot, the driver, the teacher.
Yeah, they weren't happy about that. But you
Yeah.
I'm as a press, as someone in the press, I'm there to test the product out. I'm not an influencer that was just
Well-
like looking for like selfies and stuff.
So funny.
Good for you,
story
Dave. Good
about
for you.
that. Funny, a little background on that. They were like, hey, we'll definitely have some time where you can just get up and go at your pace. Like, you can go ahead and back off a little bit, take off a little bit. And then when Dave took off, they were like, we don't need to be taking off right now. Like, and you're just like, well, which is it? And then they would say,
I
like,
died laughing when I saw that. I
They
thought
would
that
be
was
like-
hilarious.
you can pop out and get a couple or get a picture, and then everybody pops out and get pictures because everybody's there to like get content for it. And like,
Yeah.
let's not everybody get out and get pictures right now. Let's go ahead and keep moving. And we're like, which way is it? Do we
Tell
stop
me
and get
it's
a
the
picture?
first
Do
day
we not?
without telling me it's the first day.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, we were definitely the
We were
first.
definitely the first
That's
ones.
why. So for Bronco Off-Roadeo, like normal, that's why I didn't go the first week. Because I'm
Oh,
like, they're
yeah.
gonna get all the bugs out, and then like I'll go the following. And it was perfect. It was so much
No, it
fun.
was Texas. There was bugs no matter what, right?
Scorpions.
Scorpions.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No.
Nice, man.
Thank God I didn't see any.
Kelly's definitely scared of scorpions.
I
feel like
told
we
Mike
have
House
here-
I was so sad I didn't see an armadillo.
They're
We have
dead.
them in here. We have them here.
That's all I
Justin-
wanted to
Yeah.
know.
You don't have
I
one
see
over
them
there?
dead on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Wait, they're in Tennessee.
I've seen
Yes.
one here.
What?
Once you see one, they ain't.
There was
stopping.
either that or
Right.
or a possum in our
What?
driveway
Yeah,
when I
but
took
they're
off
so
to go to Ladies
bad.
Off-Roadeo last year.
When they're babies, they're so cute.
My dad's got them under his garage right now. They're having to try to figure out how to get 'em out.
Armadillos?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and they carry leprosy and all.
Armadillos.
So they're
And there's
Um,
that.
guys, I challenge you go to the event this year. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. I want to push this, Justin. If we could get you on maybe right before the event, just to give you one last little push. Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, maybe I won't interrupt every time you try to
The hell
talk.
just happened?
That
It's
time.
all good.
But guys,
That's what
go
he
over
does.
there. Once again, I will put the link in the comments here. Justin, we greatly appreciate you being on here tonight, man.
I appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, and it's
Thanks
just
for
like I said
virtually,
earlier.
not just on chat.
Yeah, There's not an easy way to do this.
Oh, you warned him of
Allie-
the breakup easy?
No, Allie did.
Oh,
You should start
I
playing
would-
the
I'm
song
we're
from the
gonna
Grammys.
awkwardly just kick you out.
But
I'm usually the one that warns everybody. It was like, there's really not a gentle way to kick
Yep.
you out.
yeah, we're not there
It
yet.
was nice to meet
Nope.
you, Justin.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Go with that.
Yeah, thank you.
No, we're breaking
Well,
up.
we will talk to you in hopefully a few weeks and make that final push for you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, later, man.
Thanks, Justin.
Later.
See you later.
Justin.
Guys, go over there. I challenge you. Seriously, I'm not even joking. The Jeep event that we went to, I hate to say Jeep events, but that's how we know this.
Mhm.
It was a freaking party. It was a lot of fun. I don't know that this first year will be that much of a party like the Jeep was, but I think
It'll be learning.
especially if you're single or it's just mom and dad or whoever that just kind of want to go let their hair down for a minute. That was the place to do it. It seemed like, and a pretty safe place to do that too.
For sure.
Pigeon Forge, there's go-karts, there's all kinds of fun things to get you in trouble that way.
I love go-karts.
So and a lot of
I'm
people are staying like in Townsend now. I've seen a lot of people talking about, hey, I'm just because Townsend's a great area to stay in, and it's 20 minutes away, really.
And honestly, Townsend, if you have not been to the Super Celebration, there's a lot of really great restaurants right there in Townsend too. So go in town, enjoy your Gatlinburg-y stuff, and then go to Townsend, stop at the company store, and get you some food too.
That's right. Lots to do there. Tony, you were in Townsend, so it's like it's the crowded part of East Tennessee is where you would go. So
I loved it there.
Townsend's
That was
lovely.
beautiful.
It was so nice.
Yeah. Well, Tony, welcome onto the show, man. Sorry, I meant to bring him in when I brought everybody else in. I noticed I didn't put Tony in the chat. And I even told Tony, I was like, dude, just comment when you want to, just, ask questions. And then I was like, oh, shit. Tony's like, hey.
He's like,
hello?
hey.
I took the cue.
Banging on the screen. Oh, man. I look at Andy. I actually was the DD.
True story.
I
He
was
does
the
make a
DD.
great DD.
That's right. Diamond Dave. That's what I mean.
Designated driver, sir.
That too. So I wanted to get in. This with Justin. We were supposed to have last week, and the way the trip worked out, there was not going to be. I even tried last minute, hoping we could get a Bronco Talk Live in there, and it just was not going to happen.
What did I say, y'all? What did I say?
Well,
I told him he was overbooking himself.
The best part was we got to hang with Ford engineers at dinner, so that dinner took a lot longer, and
Yeah, we honestly got the best table there because we actually got to talk with Ari. During our entire dinner.
Yeah,
I got to meet him at the last Michigan Bronco event. He's so nice.
He is so nice.
Him and his son were there, and I took a couple of pictures.
Which
for
one?
them.
He has
triplets.
3. I don't know. The one
The
that
other-
doesn't
the other
go to
two,
a
I
lot of
promise you, look
events
the same.
because he got to
No,
go to
they
that
don't.
one
They're
and
not
he was
identical.
stoked.
Oh, they're not?
No,
Oh.
they're fraternal.
Oh.
Trust me, I asked that question because I'm always curious. But he said they're all 3 completely different kids.
Well, they're not.
No, there's a Brainiac. There's,
right. There's the
like the
Alpha.
athletic one, and then there's another
the middle one?
engineering one.
Oh,
yeah.
There's
I
always
think
a
it
middle
was the
kid.
athletic one that was at the Michigan Bronco Club event.
Do what?
I think it was the athletic one. He was wearing all Fox stuff. I think.
Oh,
It was
Well,
him. I don't know.
he said they go in the backyard and they jump on their trampoline, and it's like they call it the ring, and it's like battle to the death pretty much, and they're all
Oh,
like
I'm sure.
13 or 12 or 13 or something like that, and they just like one thinks he's alpha and it's really the other one that's the alpha. So
I was wondering if they knew which one was which in those 3
Oh, me and
descriptions.
Kelly and our little Stanleys.
look at you and your blue Stanley.
I know. I found one. Love it.
Oh wait, that's Nissan. Sorry.
Wrong trip, sir.
Wrong.
Yeah, free mug's a free mug.
No kidding.
I don't want T-shirts, but
Especially when it's a
when
Yeti.
manufacturers like give you Yetis all the time, I'm like,
Yetis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that. So Tony, I wanted to get you on because I wanted me and Kelly to be able to talk about our version of how we experienced off-roadeo, but you were the first class to actually
Of customers.
take
Yeah,
the
first customers.
course, and I
Yeah.
was curious. You got to drive more than I know than we did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
leading up to this, I mean, we drove out to the Raptor Valley and all that, but you guys got to do 3 laps on each course. We didn't. We got to do 1, and
Okay.
Like, get the hell out of here. We got other influencers.
It was
and-
really bad because I didn't get air
right.
because I only got one shot at it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
well,
but
I derped my second jump, if that makes you feel any better. First one was beautiful, and I was like, I was gonna put some more spice on it, and then I kept hearing somebody go, "Let off the gas, let off the gas, let off the
and
gas."
then you hear in the air, you hear like
Yeah.
I did that. I stayed on the gas too long.
And so we let
but-
off before we got to the jump.
But I wanted to let's lead off with me and Kelly flew out there. When was that? Last Monday. Last Monday.
Yep.
And Ford had invited us out, and they wanted some journalists out there. The second wave, unfortunately or fortunately, had more journalists than we got. We got to hang out with Girls Guide to Cars. Is it?
Mm-hmm. Sarah with Girls Guide to Cars.
And then the second wave seemed to have more, and we had a lot of influencers on our trip, which was actually fun. There was a lot of like good influencers, I have to say, on this trip. Just nice people. Sometimes I've been on some of this stuff where you're just like, man, these people are just little assholes.
And non-Ford influencers. Like we had Josh Hunt, which is a backyard grill guy.
Yeah.
And
Bronco guy though.
But Bronco guy recently got a Bronco. And then we had Keziah Franklin, who is a Jeep outdoor guy.
Yep.
Never driven a Bronco, never had interest in a Bronco, didn't even know why he got the invitation. He was on the trip and fell in love. And then he was like, hey, what can I put on my truck that I already have? Or what can I put on a Bronco that I already have on my Jeep?
Yeah.
And then we had Mo Bronco with us as well, who
Mhm.
has older Broncos
Out of
and
Missouri.
Fords. Yeah, in Missouri.
And then Mike, what's Mike's name, Allie? What's his handle?
Modify Mike.
Modify Mike.
Oh, and then
Yep.
Sean from Our Bronco Life was there too.
Mhm.
Yep, Sean from Our Bronco Life was there too.
Which was nice because we knew Sean.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice. So we got to hang out with Sean a little bit, did lunch with Sean, and then
And with Josh too.
Josh, yes. Sorry. And guys, and if a lot of them have friended us on social medias. I'm awful with social media names, so I don't mean to be rude and mess your name up, but it's going to probably happen. So we went out there and we stayed at the Red Rocks Casino, and I think that's Tony where you stayed as well, right?
Yeah, where I stayed. Yep.
Isn't Red Rocks where the other Bronco Off-Roadeo they have them stay too?
Yeah. So Raptor Off-Roadeo and traditional Off-Roadeo are on the same property to start, but it's two different base camps.
Yeah, you off and
yeah. So when you go in, there's actually two signs, or like you go in and it goes there's a standard Bronco Off-Roadeo sign and a Raptor Off-Roadeo sign. So you continue to follow whichever one that you go to. Yeah,
but they did a nice shuttle for us. I'm assuming, is that part of it, Tony? Did you get a shuttle?
And that wasn't very clear. They got a lot of calls on it, but I think they're fixing that up in the communication. You need your own car to go out there. And, of course, that I tried to rent a Mustang. I was like, hey, why not? It's a Ford deal. So I show up and they put me in a Charger. I'm like, well, this is good. At least it's not the Jeep they originally tried to put me in. And
that'd have been awkward.
That last 1.3 miles, probably I would recommend getting an SUV if I was you when you go out there.
Yeah, we were off-roading in a Ford Transit on that last mile and a quarter.
You made a comment about that of like, oh, we're off-roading before we off-road.
Yeah, didn't realize we were going to off-road before we off-roaded.
That rental car had 3 miles on it when I picked it up.
Did it really?
Yeah. It was brand new.
I was trying to baby that thing. I was like, this is going to be so bad.
How many miles did it have on it when you turned it in?
It's like 80. I didn't drive.
Oh, so you didn't do a ton of driving.
No, and that's the big difference. If you've been to the Texas version of the off-roadeo, there's kind of this big Bronco presence inside the hotel, and I don't know why, but that's where my expectations was that I was going to walk into this hotel and there was going to be like a Bronco area and we would meet each other and talk, but it really doesn't start until you get out to the facility.
That's the one thing with Texas that's where all the dealer stuff has been. So that's been my expectation for all of it, because they just do such a great job down there. It's like,
oh yeah,
I really wish some of the other hotels would do the same thing, because it's like every time I talk about it, they don't experience the whole thing like that. So
yeah, I still stay in touch with some of the people from that first off-roadeo. Still messages and stuff. It was pretty awesome. As far as the social thing,
the hotel itself is really nice.
Oh,
really nice. We were on the 19th floor.
We were on the highest of everybody.
Sweet. Literally.
We found we found out in the So we didn't even talk about this, but we found out in the elevator that almost became a doomsday elevator for
Oh
us.
God.
We
Yes.
get in after dinner, and there's probably 6 of us in there, and all of a sudden, that like we're on the 3rd floor, and then all of a sudden the doors close, but then the elevator doesn't move, and then the doors open again, and then they close again,
off.
and the elevator didn't move, and so I pushed the open button, and we all got off.
But it was making some weird noises.
It was making some weird noises and stuff. It was like that. That's how elevators crash to the ground.
Yeah.
And we were like, no.
Yeah.
So then we all got off and got in a different elevator, and everybody was like, what? Who's on 19? We're like, we are. They're like, man, how'd you get up so high? Because everybody else was on like 12 and
influencer.
10. And when you're on 10, you just paid for it.
Right. No.
We had an awesome view of the pool.
Yeah. Did you see the pool area, Tony?
That was insane. And did you guys, I mean, like I was in room 10148. So you get off the elevator and then you walk a half a mile down this hall.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were even further than we were, because we were in 19136.
Yeah. I was like, this hall is never going to end.
Yeah. Felt like, I told him, I was like, I feel like we're in The Shining. I've not even seen the movie, but I know the reference.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. It was it was terrible from that perspective. And at one point you actually go past another set of elevators that only goes to the pool. And so you're like, cool, another set of elevators. No, it's only pool only.
Yeah. My car.
I will agree. There wasn't much in the hotel that would be like, hey, this is where you're supposed to kind of congregate. And that's about, because I know they have a shuttle, that little black off-roadeo shuttle they had. So
yeah, the what's the Ford version of the Mercedes?
Transit.
No, the big one.
Transit.
Is it a Transit?
Yeah.
As well.
But they have one there, so I just
Transit
assumed.
Connect. It's the same thing. Just one's for cargo, one's for people.
Ah, okay.
But
I guess Allie would know. Sorry.
I try not to. Transit's a touchy subject.
Do you want me to hit you harder next time?
No,
Sorry.
I'm just trying to talk.
Sorry. Go.
You're excited by a transit van. But no, I just assumed that
Hey,
they
I'm
did.
excited about all cars. You shut it.
That's true. 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, right?
Here we go.
Any drive.
Or whatever.
Ford, okay?
Transit
We're talking
Tuesdays.
about
We're gonna
Ford.
do Transit Talk Live on
Hey,
Tuesdays.
there's a shit ton of modifications you can do to transits in all
I
those
have a
other
Transit.
vans.
Okay, here's the thing. There's 174 different ways you can configure them. It's annoying.
We could totally do one configuration every Tuesday on Transit Tuesday.
Y'all think Bronco is bad to wait for? I've had people waiting 2 years for transits. A metal box. A metal.
We should totally look and see
What's
if
the
there's a
off-road?
market for
No, they
watching
did
them.
an off-road version too,
They did.
and I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Because it's for the campers.
No, I know why, but they won't.
You
It's
just
too
said you
damn
don't know
expensive.
why, so I just told you.
Yeah. Jesus.
Welcome, Allie, to the shit show.
Well, there went Allie.
I can cancel myself out now.
Yeah, that works.
Dave gave me the tools for that.
Yep. Damn it, she can pop herself back in now.
Hell yes.
But so what was your? Because I know Tony, you would text me a little bit, and you were kind of like, because you were on the border of not going, right? You were kind of like, I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, man, I was getting all kinds of text messages from people going, I'm not sure this is what you think it's going to be, and a lot of other Raptor guys were like, I don't think we're going. Transit Raptor. And so, we started getting in my head, and that's when I texted you, and I said, hey, man, is this thing legit, or am I getting bad intel? And you were like, you're getting bad intel.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because you guys know I've not been an off-roadeo guy. Like, I just I'm set in my ways. I'm grumpy bear. I just
Get off my lawn.
And I will say this though, I didn't feel like from that perspective, I didn't feel like they taught us anything really. Other than like I'm sure
Raptor is more like, hey, look at what this can do, go.
Yeah, it is. Because they assume, okay, you already know about front rear lockers, the sway bar disconnect and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience.
Mine wasn't. Mine was very similar in that respect. So our ground school, not to just totally derail this, but my ground school,
do it because yours was definitely different than ours.
Yeah. So we started off, pretty much where you guys did from the video around the red Bronco that was on the sluice pit or whatever it was. And we went around that and they talked about They talked about, approach angle, breakover angle, departure angle, differential, transfer case, transmissions.
Oh.
They went through all of that. Front lockers, rear lockers, explain what they did and how they worked. So we had that kind of ground school, and then we went into basically the rock crawling section. So we just dove off. There's that long gate where you tunnel.
Yeah.
Did you guys go down that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
you go out on pavement for a minute.
Yeah. Well, we did all this rock crawling stuff first.
Oh, okay.
Just around the base camp. So
how long was your experience there?
I got there at 8 and we started dinner about 6.
So you did dinner?
Yeah, we did dinner.
We only did a half day.
Oh, I got empanadas, man. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It's like really good. Little chimichurri sauce. It was really nice. Live music. This thing was badass. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was
that's
awesome.
more like the regular off-roadeo then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. That's one feedback. Then I would, if they'll give us feedback on it, I will say, hey, if you want us to like give a full experience on the experience, then we should get the same experience, because we didn't know that you guys were getting
the press. When press got to do the Texas one, this is exactly what they did. It was just short and sweet. Get to experience the vehicle. You get to feel,
or at least educate us on it. I would
right.
say.
Well, we had Ari walk us around, told us all the
100%
benefits of the Raptor, and why we should give Ford $85,000, and
yeah,
I'm on that bandwagon now, I guess. But yeah, so the building itself is very nice. I loved so I'm curious, what did you, when they talk about helmets and they have the drivers changing little area there and all that, like you're like, oh damn, we're helmets.
I was so confused when I kept getting all these pictures of people in helmets. I'm like, what is going on?
A bunch of my friends are make fun of me because there's so many pictures of me with a helmet on. Because once I got it on, it was like switching back and forth was a nightmare. And they kind of wanted you to wear it when you were out at the Raptor Run area, when you're in Raptor Valley.
Look who's here.
It's
our buddy Jordan. Jordan, you should join in. You should join in with us. Let me know if you want to join in. But yeah, so the building itself, I thought was do what?
I couldn't read it fast enough.
Oh. But I thought the building itself was nice. They have a nice little gift center, kind of if you want to buy shirts or whatever. The building, I thought the building was really cool. What did you think of the seatbelt chair?
They wouldn't let me take
send Jordan a link.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They
have them on Wayfair.
I googled. That was incredible.
They're like $1,300, by the way.
But for honestly,
what's $1,300?
I'll send you a picture, or we'll pull it up.
But for honestly, a custom chair, $1,300 is not a lot.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna sound like a fanboy on this thing, but I went in it not knowing whether I was gonna like it or not, and it was a blast. Like if you have a pass and you don't use it, you're a little bit insane, I think. So
yeah, well, and that was because me, that was why I wanted to talk to you about you doing the actual drive, the owner experience versus what we did. And I've not, like I said, I've not been a fan of, no, I won't say a fan. I know the purpose of off-roadeos, and I think they're exactly what Ford needed to do with this product. But for me personally, I've just been kind of grumpy bear. Like, it's not worth. I mean, if Ford wants to send me to one of these, yes, it's worth my time to experience it that way for what we need for content. But as far as me, that's why when I sent you, I was like, you'll get some good experiences out of this, especially with the whole ladies thing. I thought that was awesome the way they do that. But this is a completely different animal because you bought a monster vehicle. And I only before this had a very short time driving a Raptor, and it was some nice viewers just threw us the keys and said, hey, go drive it. And so you're careful, you don't want to tear it up. But these, I'm curious what you think, Tony. I don't know how these damn things last 6 months, because they literally, I told you privately, I said, like, dude, they let you beat on them. Like they don't stop you from beating on it. And what was your experience?
They actually encouraged us to beat on it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they have techs and mechanics there too, like tuning them up and making sure everything's good, or no?
Well, I don't know, but I drove the shit up. I drive the shit out of mine. I mean, it's like the stuff I
watch your videos.
The stuff I put it through, I mean, and it doesn't rattle. The top doesn't rattle. It doesn't squeak. There's no excessive wind noise. It's the exact same wind noise I got when I bought it new. I get to keep that. And I mean, I am shocked at how well they held up. And I drove the one they gave me really, really hard. Now, when I was on the Raptor run, I think that that was the roughest of all the tracks, if you ask me, was that little Raptor run section. And our instructors were really, really good. And so when we had some time to chat while we were staging, and I told them what I wanted to work on, and they actually, there you go. They actually let me work on the stuff that I wanted to work on the Raptor run and on the 4400 track. So
yeah,
I was pretty pumped about it.
I didn't expect the long drive out there. Now it was fun. Had our group moved a little faster, I think we were the beta.
Were going fast.
We were not going out there. We were the beta group to get out there. They're learning, so I let all that go. I don't kind of fuss about that. But I didn't realize how much off-road time you were literally going to get to Raptor Valley, and the scenery out there is just beautiful, man. There was those hills. I don't know if you caught it, but they looked like topography maps. Yeah. Like the way they were cut out and stuff was just beautiful. The experience itself was
amazing. Yeah.
The people there, the instructors were just 100%, even first day, 100%.
Oh, in full transparency, I am not ungrateful by any means, because I know I'm about to probably get hit in some of the comments about it, but I had a great experience. But I just feel like for us to be able to sell it entirely, because Tony, I didn't know that you had, until we were talking here, that you had the like walk around like Bronco Off-Roadeo, because there was no talk of that in our experience. So that would have been nice, at least to educate us, to be like, hey, because I did ask some clarifying questions of like, hey, are the folks going to get more time? And they're like, yeah, there's going to be 8 people versus 16. So there's like, you did get a little bit of that, but there just wasn't a whole lot of information on what the experience was going to be for you guys on Friday from that perspective.
And speaking of education, if you need somebody to tell you how to change a tire, this man will do it. We've got the legendary Mr. Jordan Parker from Bronco Nation. What's up, buddy?
Dave, I actually recently just changed a tire.
Did you? Please tell me you thought of me when you did it.
I did. I almost sent you a picture and posted in the forums, but I took a picture to commemorate because I really wanted to commemorate the occasion. So let me pull up the picture.
Oh my
Just so
I love how this is now a thing.
Yet again, that I am excellent at changing a tire.
I don't know. I see a Bronco in a garage. I don't see you.
I feel like I see a drink in your hand too.
You're correct. I changed the tire. Now I did use a credit card to get the tire changed, but I did facilitate.
I never use that credit card in Iceland.
I never said I changed
to Jordan.
Tire. I changed the tire, just not me personally.
That's fantastic.
So Jordan, were you there for both days?
$5 I've ever spent.
Were you there both days, Jordan?
I appreciate the nice little shout out the other night. I appreciate that. It was very nice. I don't appreciate the fact that Tony was on your show and I've yet to be able to be on your show. I will say that. I'm playing Tony. I'm playing.
Tony was there. Tony was there.
I know. I should have left it so.
It was like 2 a.m. and I was the only guy left. So it's like, you'll do.
You're all we've got. Come on, Tony.
I drank you pretty.
Yeah. Jordan, how was it out there for you? I know you got to ride a little bit with some of the people out there. Did a lot of smiling faces? People happy?
Yeah, Tony let me be his co-driver for the first part of the morning. Yeah, this was for full disclaimer, this was like the last day of a 5 weeks on the road for me. So I was like beater than beat. But to see the excitement of people coming through on day one, and I think Tony and you guys talking about your differences in experience was really key. And I didn't know that y'all's media day was abbreviated. And that's why I tend to avoid media days, because you don't get the full experience. I went 2 to 3 weeks ago. I can't keep track of time. And did the full experience.
Nice.
That video will come out tomorrow. But I think they're doing themselves a disservice when they give media an abbreviated day. And I think I've kind of gathered this, seeing the different media reports and stories or lack thereof come out, is there was not like a full holistic view. Like I'm reading these stories and I'm like, where's everything else? And so it makes sense now that if you only did a half day, you're only going to be able to tell half the story.
Well, we had coupled with hard outs too. They had like, hey, I have a 2 o'clock flight. And you're like, we were literally in Raptor Valley. And he's like, hey, I've got a 2 o'clock flight.
No. He said, I've got a flight in 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. That's it.
He was like, I have a flight in 2 hours. Am I going to make it? And they're like, yeah, we're getting ready to head back now. And it was like, it was 45 minutes off of Raptor Valley.
At least. Yeah.
Back to camp.
Yeah.
Well, we were flying. We were flying.
Yeah.
because I did the sport experience. They did a sport media day at Bronco Off-Roadeo Moab a couple weeks ago, and that was the full day experience. And then you can actually see what it's like. You get the lunch, you get the dinner, you get the full shebang, the intros. And so to hear that y'all's experience was different is certainly interesting to me. But it's an incredible program. I think Tony can attest to this. And talking to people there, they have, there's a wide variety in the attendees. There's people with tons of off-roading experience. This is their fifth, off-road vehicle. And there's people who, have never driven a vehicle with 4-low, have never used a rear locker. And so to see the variety and experience come to this and see the progression throughout the day, and people like Tony can still have a blast, and people who have never been on the dirt can have a blast. I think that just goes to show how much effort and thought has been put into the program, as it can make people who have a lot of experience have a lot of fun, and make people who have no experience will have a lot of fun. Yeah. I went when I was a novice off-roader. I go now when I'm a very experienced off-roader, and it's still a great time. And I also think Tony touched on it. The people make it. The coaches that are there make it. It's like with anything. If the people you're around are, bah humbug and glum and Scrooge McDuck, you're going to have a crappy day. But the energy that the staff bring, I think it makes it all the more better. And you do get that basic level of, or that I shouldn't say basic, but you do get that kind of baseline education on the vehicle, on basic off-roading technique. But you do get, at least from what I can assess, a lot more time behind the wheel at Raptor Off-Roadeo than you do at Bronco Off-Roadeo. Like the ORX course for regular Bronco Off-Roadeo, which is kind of that learning slow where you're walking alongside the vehicle doing demos, was a lot longer, especially at Texas. It's like 2 hours, I think. Where at Raptor Off-Roadeo, it was like 30 minutes in and out. So part of that is due to the smaller group size. Raptor is a much smaller group size than regular Off-Roadeo. I think regular Off-Roadeo is like 30 a wave, where Raptor's like 8 or 16 a wave. And then they even split that up into 2 pods as well. So when we were in the rock crawling section, it was 3 and 3. So it's essentially a 1 coach to 3 customer ratio, which is phenomenal. Things just tend to move quicker.
We only got in trouble once.
Speak for yourself.
How did you film it though?
Video or it didn't happen.
It's Bronco 3. You're full of surprises. What are you doing here?
That was you. I was like, I'm gonna have to get out of the car because they're gonna think I'm like coaching him wrong and telling him to go. I'm like, I can't be.
I could have swore I heard him say, "Come along here."
So what did you do, Tony?
I played the fifth.
We just went ahead and did the rock section
before he was coached through it. But I think, the Raptor Valley stuff specifically, like you don't get to know the course until at least lap 2 or 3. So
that was our problem, man.
I wasn't able to process the turns because when you're going through a course that technical at that high speed, it takes your brain a couple laps before you've mapped it, so you know when to take the turn. Yep. So
I was with Brad Level on that, and I was talking to him about that. I was like, because we got one shot and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that one.
Yeah,
because
we got
it was too much.
We got an instructor lap, and then we got to do 1 lap. And I told him, I was like, if you're looking at the trailer, it was the one on the right, the kind of Baja-ish
Raptor
course. And I said, I'm having problems. And you can see, I purposely left my whole run in that video so people could experience what we were doing. But you'll see I was slow in turns because I couldn't process where. And the more they run that, the deeper that'll get grooved out, and you'll be able to experience corners. But I couldn't see corners to know,
because the color of the landscape and everything.
It was very bland.
And you're going so fast, like those corners come up in a second. And I learned that especially when I go out to Johnson Valley and drive things like the DR and the Raptor on more open courses, you're looking 200, 300, 400 yards out because those turns are going to be there in a matter of seconds. So when you're on a course, and this is a couple things I called out, I think they need turn indicators or kind of distance markers when a turn is coming up.
Yes.
So you can know, because you just don't have time to learn it that fast. And then I had an issue with the helmet on. Your coach really has to yell for you to hear the instruction. And my coach was kind of quiet on the first few laps. So I'm like, I need a little bit more audible instruction here so I don't miss the turn and go somewhere.
And on the one that we did, the Ultra 4 course area, my problem was the coach was talking too much. Like I couldn't
a lot of auditory input.
I'm trying to, and I'm getting ready, you take off, you turn for that jump. And dude, he was all over me, and I couldn't focus on what I was doing.
I was in the back seat, like just trying to figure out how to hold on and like keep my head low enough that I didn't crash against the ceiling all the other times that I did.
Yeah.
And they warn you, they're like, hey, if you're going to sit in the back, you're going to get the crap beat out of you and you're going to get a ride. And I was like, it can't be that bad. And then I did it and I was like, I am good. Dave's going to drive this one. I'm all good. I don't have a desire to ride around it because it was so much.
Yeah.
I think
so
there's
fast.
a balance of enough information to keep everybody safe and to keep you having fun.
100%.
With
And I think because we
too
seriously were the first group. Oh, I'm sorry, Jordan. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And we did this 3 weeks ago when they were pre-running for all you guys, so it was even earlier. Now it does sound like it was more smooth then, and I think maybe the abbreviated day threw a wrench in things because that's the typical day that Tony experienced, or we experienced the typical day. So that's interesting. Again, you can't, when you just have one lap, then it's like, just when you're starting to get comfortable and understand, where you're on gas and on brake and off brake,
floating.
I do think a little bit more technique coaching before the Ultra 4 course would be helpful, because I have experience where I know when to brake and not brake. I know not to gas over a jump. I know, you brake before the turn and not in the turn. But I think for a lot of people coming into that area for the first time, that could be a little overwhelming. Everybody in our group did fantastic. Awesome. At least from what I could observe. I wasn't riding in every car, obviously. But it is a lot. I mean, they are throwing you into the deep end, and I think that's great. It shows the immense capability of the vehicle, and you are diving in head first to, some of the most intense terrain you'll probably ever go over in your Raptor. But it's gnarly. It is no joke. It's, they're not baby.
They have confidence in that vehicle.
Yes.
Like, a lot of manufacturers, I guarantee you, Jeep's not taking a 392 out there and being like, "Hey, it could probably handle it," but they're not being like, "Go shit out of this thing."
That's what I said. When I was there, I was like, when they asked us our thoughts at the end of the day, I'm like, this is what you're letting like owners do,
right?
Like, yeah, I'm like,
normal Joe Schmo, like nobody you know.
Well, okay, that's my question, Jordan. From you being there on the first day, how many owners do you think have never been behind the wheel of something like this?
75. I mean, well, I will say for the Raptor experience, you have to have taken deliveries. That is a differentiator. So everyone coming to Raptor Off-Roadeo will have had some time behind the wheel. Now, it may just be commuting to work and back, but there is some baseline level of familiarity with the Raptor, which obviously is different from Bronco because you can go pre-delivery.
Yeah.
I would say 75 to 80% of our group had not had any experience close to this, if not more. Hello, Cat. Had not had any experience close to this, which I think was a surprise and delight for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I would say, just from my assessment, obviously this isn't judging, I think Tony was probably the most experienced of the group. I didn't talk to the other wave. There could be people in there too that had a lot of experience, but in our circle, Tony had the most off-roading experience and the most experience with off-road vehicles. What I did notice from this that is very different from the regular Bronco Off-Roadeo is this is not a primary vehicle for most people. This is a second, third, fourth, fifth vehicle for a lot of people. There's a guy that sold his Hellcat to get a Raptor, but they're not, for the vast majority, I'll generalize. It's not applicable to everybody, but this is usually a fun car. It's a weekender. For a lot of Raptor customers, and when you're buying a vehicle in the $95,000, $100,000 price point now for MSRP,
I will say for the ones that we've sold, it is not a primary vehicle.
No, and so I think the clientele reflects that. Their expectations are higher. They come in with a little bit more experience and exposure to higher end experiences, whether that be hotels, whether that be travel, whether that be adventurous, whatever it is. They have that little luxury bug in their brain. And there was one guy in particular who he talked to that you could tell he had a lot of experience and a lot of exposure to those higher end experiences. And he came in, I don't want to say low expectations, but he said multiple times he was like blown away with how nice it was, like how premium it felt, how the attention to detail, like it's really, and I know a lot of the creative team behind Off-Roadeo and the attention to detail is like almost on Disneyland level, just with the little touches. I mean, even in the bathrooms at Raptor Base Camp, it's like there's mood lighting and there's silhouettes everywhere, and like every little touch woven throughout the experience just takes it to that next level. And I don't think people are expecting it. I don't think they're expecting the giant gates when you pull into Off-Roadeo.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a reel or a short coming out of just like scanning the bathroom, because it is. There's like little Broncos, and there's this, and it is, to your point, there every little idea is thought of.
Yeah.
Well, and Kelly, you said this. Sorry, I'll this will be my last thought, and then you can go to the comments. The seatbelt chairs. When I went in there, I wanted to buy them too. If you see two of those seatbelt chairs pop up behind me, that's where you know they came from. But like the hoods on the ceilings, just everything.
That was really cool.
Detail is nuts.
Yeah, they definitely made it feel unique from just the regular Off-Roadeo. And deal me in for a 24. I'm not complaining. This is what we experienced. I want you guys to know what we experienced. By no means, we are very grateful for Ford.
100%.
Ford sent us on a few press trips, and trust me, I don't bitch about it.
No.
So we're very grateful. But I want you guys to know that's why we brought Tony in tonight, was our experience versus how Ford plans to do customers. And so I didn't want to give my experience of being like, well, this is what we had, and then customers watch this and go, well, that's all I get.
Right.
We wanted Tony to be able to, as a customer, to be able to experience that. But it is
And
first
Dave,
world problem.
I was watching another review today on an entirely unrelated subject to automotive vehicles, and the reviewer said, I don't want people to mistake my critiques for complaints, because when you're in the business of reviewing, you are there to give your review and to give positive and constructive criticism. I think a lot of times that's why certain reviewers or influencers decline media trips and ask to go on their own, because they don't want the perception of like, I've been wined and dined into giving good thoughts or to sharing good thoughts. Like Doug DeMuro, this could have changed, but I don't believe he really goes on any media trips. I think he just gets the vehicle.
Well, he'll go, but he flies himself out. He puts himself up.
Yes. So I think oftentimes it can get misconstrued that providing criticism is complaining and being ungrateful, which is why this media review for Raptor Off-Roadeo is interesting to me. And I don't want to, I'll say it. There was a tack in this media review to a little bit more inside baseball. This is the first time where Friends of Ford has had a very strong presence at a media event, and traditional media hasn't. Right? You know, the Raptor media drive, when I did like the regular Raptor media drive, from what I recall, we as Bronco Nation were like the closest to Ford. Everybody else was traditional media. When I was at the NACTOY drive last year, where we stayed at Red Rocks and did Vegas Off-Roadeo, you know, we were the odd man out because we were close to Ford, and everybody else was traditional media. So when I saw all the content coming out and it was majority Friends of Ford people, not saying it's good or bad, it was just an interesting tack from the way things historically have gone.
We were when we were invited, and we were invited 2 months ago or something. So we got our invite a long time ago, but I was a little nervous because I was like, man, it's just influencers here, and nothing against what they do.
No, not at all.
But I will say, when I've been on trips with influencers, a lot of times they're looking for the free parts of the trips, the swag bag or something like that, and they want to promote that, and which is, there's a reason for what they do.
There is 100% an angle.
Yeah. But it kind of did bum me out when I learned a lot of our press friends were the next day, and we got to choose what day. It wasn't like they said this is the day you're a part of, and it just happened to work out for our schedule. But I will say a lot of the influencers for this, they were excited. They wanted to be there. Jordan, I'm sure you've seen some of that where you can tell some of them just don't want to be there, and whether you can say that or not, that happens where they're there for a free trip. They get their free trip, and that part of it is just like, shit, I don't want to do that. That's where me and you are like, I want to do that. And can we go do it again?
Right.
Like, that's the fun of it. That's the cool thing about what we've tried to do, is because we're fans of off-roading. So obviously I want to be respected as a journalist, but we're fans of off-roading. So we're a weird hybrid of this. And for the guy being like first world problems and all that, like Jordan said, part of our job is to plus minus. And there was a lot of pluses there. Maybe
100%.
one minor minus, and the rest is all plus. But so Tony, you get out there,
Yep.
and you drive yourself, unfortunately, in a Dodge product, which is strange.
I tried to get a Ford.
You're a rebel. You're a rebel.
I bet it was
dude.
nice though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice.
So you
I
drive.
like how quiet you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
You drive up there, they give you the experience, and then you get to choose which Bronco. Like they have all those downhill there. You get to walk down that path. You see all the Broncos.
They assigned me a Bronco.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, and I paid for, and I highly recommend this if you get it. I paid for the video system. That's
I
for
have
my
that.
video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
that was sick. I didn't realize it came with all those like graphics with the speed. That was really cool.
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait, but ours didn't have. He's talking about more in it. So what all was on yours?
Well, mine had all the graphics, right? It had all the. Did yours have the
telemetry? It had all, like,
we got the same thing.
Oh, okay. I thought he was saying something about like. Never mind. Forget it. I'm in 2030 at this point in my mind of what they gave to you. So
did you get the books though?
I didn't get book.
Yeah.
I got a Yeti.
They expected.
Yeah, we got a Yeti too. Dave finally got his own Yeti.
They expected us to actually write things down. I was like, I'm not using that. I have my own notebook, man. I don't need that stuff.
I had a camera crew following me around. Does that count? I mean, I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
It's not a movie, Tony. Get real.
We saw the boom mic. It's a movie.
Tony,
so, hey, I want to back up for just a second. They asked me if I would. They sent me that questionnaire, that survey, and asked me if I would go again if I could pay for it. And I was like, yeah, of course I would go again if I could pay for it, especially if it was level 2. And this thing far and above exceeded the Raptor Assault that I went to when I had a Gen 2 Raptor. I had the opportunity to go to that. But I would love, to Jordan's point, when you go to level 2, I would love for ground school to be very similar to the Assault ground school, where they actually take you in there and they talk about apexes in the corner and they talk about braking and floating and give you just a little bit of that ahead of time. Because when I was staging with my instructor, he was like, what are you wanting? What are you thinking? And I was like, look, I want to work on the chatter bumps. I want to work on the whoops, and that's what I want to focus on. So I don't really care about anything else right now. And so that's why we chose the speed we chose. And that's why we did that Raptor run course the way we did. And then we moved over to 4,400. I wanted to do the Talladega type turns, and I wanted to figure out how to get that Bronco straightened back out. And so we worked on that. It was awesome.
Nice.
And one thing I will
that's really cool
also mention is that they're so for Raptor, they call them coaches instead of trail guides. They've went out and hand selected a whole new group of coaches that have like the most impressive off-road, like desert racing resumes. These weren't like people that they pulled off the strip, who worked the Magic Mike show yesterday, put them on off-rodeo costumes and said, okay, lead these people around all day. These are people with legit resumes who have raced Baja, who have raced King of the Hammers, who have raced motocross, who have raced, 4,400, 4,600, trophy trucks, unlimited class. Like, these people have the resume and the experience to coach all the way up to that level, as Tony was saying, which is really cool, because you're not just getting, a person who was working a Toyota booth at an auto show last week and has been rebranded. It's people with legit credentials that you can learn from no matter your skill level. So that one-on-one time with the driver you get, which is also unique from regular off-rodeo, in Raptor Valley, is really cool because they can kind of more fine-tune those hot laps to your experience. So after my first lap, my coach realized, okay, this kid has, does know what he's doing behind the wheel. Shocking, I know. A little bit more intense than I had, because again, you see me and you're like, oh, cute, nice, you're gonna go play in the dirt. I get it. For 3 years.
We were actually talking about how young you were at Raptor Off-Roadeo, Jordan.
Yeah.
I told
that a lot. I've overcome a lot of these stereotypes, and I actually went and watched if you guys want a really good laugh, go back and watch the very first video I did for Bronco Nation. It was the day in the life of the Bronco sport. No wonder nobody took me seriously. I totally get it now. I'm like, I would have laughed at me too. I did.
Oh, you had me rolling when you were on Instagram. You were up on Johnson Valley with the red Bronco, and you were doing, I think you had a couple people with you, and you were trying to do a live thing, and you had no internet, nothing was working. You were getting pissy. It was hilarious, and I was just like, "Who the f is this guy? Like, what is going on here, man?"
Well,
But
it's funny Tom, because we actually had a conversation with I'm not sure what the guy's name was, but he was actually where we bought like our daughter a T-shirt, and in the swag room, and
The mercantile.
we were telling him, is like, well, Jordan's going to be here on Friday, and is like, I will tell you, our respect for him has come a long way from where it began to where it is now. Like, and they were like,
Oh, Jordan sucks. No,
and they were like,
I wouldn't
Tony
blame
Payne's coming, and you're going to totally have to just put them together in the same vehicle, so
They
they
did.
have to ride together and see what kind of adventure they have. So
We
I just
did.
love that you guys ended up together in the truck together.
And I do now understand the criticism. When you're in it, you're like, what are these people problem with me? And that's when back when like your Bill Ford's nephew rumors were swirling and like all this other crap, which totally fair. Even though that's not true, don't run with that. No relation.
You just said it. I can clip that.
I said rumors. Rumors. Leave the
But
rumors
you
out there.
but you put rumor too far away and too far away. So
This is where my like previous background in politics gets me, because I know how to talk on camera to make clips for Twitter. Biting me in the butt now. But it is, and those were the scrappy days. So it is cool to see the transformation over the 3 years.
yeah,
And get along with everybody now, because it's much nicer this way. So
for sure.
Yeah,
I'm on your show for the second time. Who would have thought?
I know,
There's
man.
been more than that, I think.
No, just the second time. It was at KOH, and then this one night I joined for after hours, but that was not.
Yeah, after hours.
That was fun.
After hours.
Yeah, because Tony was here for that one too.
That was
So
a good one.
Tony, you get out on the pavement with this thing. You're like, what are we doing, right? Like, because I was like, because they take you down the road so you can get to the trail entrance, and I was just like, oh, come on, man, like this isn't. And what's bad is I look back on my own video and I'm like, they had a damn map sitting there, literally showing you exactly what you're going to do.
Oh, I didn't even look at it.
Oh yeah, there was a map on the wall.
Yep.
But we get there, and at first you're just like, really, this is the course that we're gonna do, is just these little bumpy roads, and it gets a little gnarlier as you're getting there.
Well, in full transparency, I felt like absolute crap that morning for like 4 hours or for like 3 hours on the way out. So like it was a terrible experience for me on the way out.
Had fun, but
I mean, I had fun, but I was miserable.
But yeah, and then I was hoping the pace would pick up a little bit, and that's when I got in trouble. And I put it in the video. I was like, I'm gonna gun this. I'm in a Raptor in the desert, man. I'm gonna gun this thing a little bit, and I did not literally gun it. And the guys on the radio, well, we need to be good stewards. And I'm like,
I loved that you got it on video too. That it happened at that exact time.
Yeah.
It just cracked me up. I was like, see, you're getting yourself in trouble.
well, but honestly, out of our group,
for coming, I was like, make sure to give Dave and Kelly a hard time.
yes, of course.
Let them have any
Try
fun.
to give him a change of tire.
I cannot look out.
No fun whatsoever.
See if he knows how to change tire.
It would have been hilarious though if we'd have blown a tire.
I would have
I'm
paid
just
for
saying.
that. At hindsight, I would have paid for that.
Make sure that there's something in there, so you just have to go over just right and actually pop the tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get Jordan's video going so I can change this tire.
Dave's tire.
But we as press and all the influencers, like I know there's a time frame to that, but every time they're like, oh, you can get a picture here, and as soon as you get out of the truck, well, don't get out of the truck, and you're like, what do you want me to film here, man? Like, but when we got out there, luckily we're a team too, so that helps. When ones run the course, you can video each other. But a lot of those people, like, I'm surprised they got any footage, because even old Mitchell 6'5" there, like, he ran his drone,
all by himself.
He ran his drone into the side of a mountain.
I did hear he ran it in the side of the mountain.
He put it in one of his videos. It was hilarious. You see it just crash right into a mountain. But even like, I was kind of worried for Mitch. I was like, because I seen he had his big DSLR camera with him. I was like, shit, I hope that's not all he's got, because he's not getting as bumpy as those roads were. You're not holding that camera.
I was struggling with the phone in my hand, trying to even just get a picture of the landscape outside.
Our GoPro mounts came off because we did in car for Raptor Run and 4400.
Yeah.
And our GoPro mounts, like the suction cups, came off the windshield.
Because who you need?
Going so hard.
7 designs.
Yeah, because ours didn't come off
Not at all.
Ours stuck the whole time.
But my GoPro did overheat. Right when I got on the back horse, I got
went
like
through
30
7
seconds.
GoPro batteries at Raptor Valley. 7 GoPro batteries at Raptor Valley.
I only went through 2.
See, that's where they're
but
gonna
I
watch
didn't get
to buy
3
the
laps
videos
either.
there, because ours are gonna fail out there.
Well, I mean, for me, I got so wound up in it. I was sitting there with my GoPro and stuff, and I was just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm taking this experience in. And when we haven't talked about the special guest yet that showed up, have we?
No, we haven't.
Nope.
Yeah. So we had that special guest, Vaughn Getting Jr. showed up. And
Oh, we knew he was coming.
Yeah.
We
Well,
heard he was coming.
Tony knew too, but he didn't show up on our day. You know?
No.
Tony kept asking me all morning. He's like, so like, what special guests are coming today? I'm like, I just work here. I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like,
Jordan's like, am I not special enough? Jeez, Tony.
I'm like,
Like, I'm your special guest. Jeez.
I'm liable to put you on a live
I
stream.
was just trying to get him to say it out loud. I knew who was coming.
Yeah.
Well,
So that
he
was
has-
nice though.
he
We
has
got
to drive
instructor
it, though,
hot
right?
laps.
I did not know I was going to get a ride with him though. That was the icing.
Oh,
on the
that's
cake.
cool.
That's really
Yes.
cool.
So we got instructor hot laps, which was great.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't push it. They could have, even they said, hey, this is not going to be fast, but it's not going to be slow, and I was like, well, that's okay. That's
they
okay.
call
But
it
I was
laps.
hoping for more. But then Tony posts a picture up, and I knew who was going to be there, but I was like, damn it, man, because I would have loved a hot lap with one of those guys, man. Like that was awesome.
He was hauling ass, man. It was. He got in, and I go, all right, scare me. And he looked at his GoPro and he goes, you heard him, folks. And the thing
That's
was,
awesome.
it was so fast, but he was so smooth and in control. I forgot to be scared. I was just giggling the whole time because it was just smooth. I
That's
was like,
awesome.
we are freaking hauling, and I'm not getting jerked around in any obscene way like when I was driving. I mean, it was crazy.
Well, that was impressed me about the vehicle because I've not been pro Raptor with Bronco. I mean, I know its purpose and I know it's built to do that, but East Coasters are never going to get to experience that vehicle like it should be experienced, which is a bummer to us. So we got to drive one at Supercell and was like, well, okay, that was fun. But after getting it out on a straightaway, and I looked down and I didn't realize I was doing 65 mile an hour. And you're like, okay, this is exactly where you want this vehicle, and kind of bums me we don't live out west now. And I would definitely, if we did, I would have one because you feel the reason for that vehicle. And that's, I think especially for East Coasters flying out to do this, they're going to be like blown away even more than just owning the vehicle.
Most of the people were from the East Coast.
Yeah.
It was Louisiana. It was, Tony in Oklahoma. It was Atlanta. Like it was mostly East Coasters who came
That's
out.
awesome.
That's cool.
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny
we would-
because I don't know if this made it to the cut in the video or not, but there was at one point where my instructor was like, okay, you're gonna let off the gas a little bit because you're hitting that sand part.
The silt.
Yeah, the silt. And I didn't let off fast enough. He's like, okay, you're gonna let off the gas now. And like I'm like flying around this corner and I'm like, I swear I'm a better driver than this. Like he's like, no, you're fine. And I was like, I would have freaked out if I was
get
in the passenger
embarrassed.
seat.
You're like,
What's
oh,
that?
no, you get embarrassed. Like, oh no, they're gonna think I'm bad now.
I know. I don't want you to think I'm this
Well,
stupid girl that doesn't know how to drive this vehicle. I'm so sorry.
So when I hit that back part of the Ultra 4 area and that big sand area, no, I came in too hot and I missed the grooves.
I did too.
And came out of it, and then the dude was scared. He's like, you gotta go, we're gonna get stuck. And I was like, I'm not good, trust me, I'm not getting stuck here. I know how to drive.
Well, I came back in and he goes, did you get stuck? You took forever. I was like, no, I didn't get stuck. I wouldn't get stuck. He's like, you just seemed like forever.
You're standing under
I did
that
2
tent
laps.
and
You weren't
can't
even
see the
looking.
back.
Right?
Yeah.
I was going so fast. I took 2.
Yeah. What's funny was we have the little DJI wireless mics, and I kept getting pieces where I could hear like him instructing Kelly what to do, and I was like, I didn't realize she jumped in another vehicle.
Yeah.
Because we were in the same vehicle, and so
And it was happening so fast so that I got out and they were like, okay, is there anybody else that needs to drive? And I was like, I might. And he's like, well, you need to make a decision right now if you're going to drive. And I was like, yes. And he's like, okay, I'm going to take you around. And so like, he took me around for the lap. And then I come back around and he's finally done. And I was like, he's looking over and I was like, I'm going. And he's like, oh, like trying to get camera. And I didn't get to video his whole like run.
Oh yeah. But this is I'm about to hit the jump, and I was so embarrassed because I did not do a good jump right there. And then here's where Kelly's like literally leaving. She's like, I'm going. And I was like, okay, well, there she goes. But no, I will say Ford did an absolute brilliant job on this. The course itself is great. This is the back little part of the course there, which is, like we said, it's hard to see where you were driving, but I think that problem will fix itself down the road. But the HQ area itself was freaking nice, man. It's so pretty right there. It's just surrounded by all those mountains. I would have liked to seen, Jordan, where you did your live stream from, the other area. I would have liked to just kind of went down there and poked around.
Where was that?
The normal off-rodeo area.
Because that's where the Raptor, like that's where you have dinner. So like the normal.
Oh, okay. We did everything in this building.
Yeah, we did breakfast and lunch here.
So for the Raptor attendees, you have lunch there at Raptor Base Camp, and then at the end of the day, everybody, regular Bronco and Raptor, have dinner together up at the pavilion where we did the live stream. And I think this two things for people scared of going to the Las Vegas location, because Vegas is 117 degrees. It's 30 to 40 degrees cooler up at Mount Potosi than it is on the Strip. So if it's 110 on the Strip, it's 80 degrees at Mount Potosi, and that's pretty consistent throughout the whole year, that temperature difference. So don't be scared that you're going to sweat. Now at Raptor Valley, it can get it's toasty, but at Mount Potosi, it's very pleasant. The views are spectacular.
It's not humid though. Us East Coasters were so used to that humidity.
And then also, like, people, I just don't think enough people know that, like, off-rodeo, no matter whether it's sport, Bronco or Bronco Raptor, like, it's included in your purchase.
Yes.
Right? Because I saw somebody comment, like, he posted a picture of his Raptor. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I could go." I'm like, brother, you can go.
So it does absolutely amaze me how many people don't know.
It's nuts.
And it's honestly, I had this conversation with another salesperson from another Ford dealer. It's the people who have gone to off-rodeo that went and actually loved it and didn't just take the free trip that they were being sent on. So a lot of people know I wasn't planning on taking my Bronco until Mike got me to fall in love with them, and I've been hooked ever since. It's the people who did not take away from that experience that are not telling either their dealership or other salespeople about it. Like, we had delivered a Bronco, and it was another sales guy. I ended up talking to him on Facebook Marketplace. He had no idea about off-rodeo. And I'm meeting him at Hollyoaks next weekend just to go over basic stuff with him. He's like, "I don't know how to use this. I'm scared." I'm like, "Okay, I'll meet you on Sunday. Let's take 3 hours and I'll go through like a breakdown." Not even my customer, but like truly a guy who wants to learn. And I sent him the link to Off-Rodeo. He goes, "Holy shit, I'm going to Texas." I'm like, it's so easy.
And I don't know if it's Dave or Tony that was saying it, but like getting text messages saying like, "I don't know if this is all it's cracked up to be." Like,
that was me.
How those rooms even start? Like, Raptor hasn't even been open, and people are like, "I don't know if it's legit." Like,
yeah.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Well, even though I'm not big on I'm not big. I know the purpose of it, and I think it's a really good course. But for me, the normal schools are like, I don't really care about that. This, by 100%, I will eat crow and say this is very worth the experience.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, it's for one, us East Coasters, we don't get to off-road. I've been out west and off-roading, but you haven't really got to do any off-roading out there, so it was kind of fun.
Minimal,
for you. But just having, like you were saying, Jordan, all the experienced course instructors there to give you advice, to take you out and show you, and even if they run you around it and you're like, you know what, that's not for me. Still,
you know, and you didn't beat up your own vehicle. Like, it's not, you get to use their vehicle. I mean, I did the sport experience 2 weeks ago and had a blast.
Yeah.
It was the sport, and it was super fun, and it was scenic, and it was beautiful, and the guides were amazing, and I learned a lot, even in the sport, and I've been doing this for, I've been off-roading for the majority of my life, doing, I spent thousands of hours in Broncos, and even doing the sport experience last month, you learn something new. So, I understand it can sometimes be cost prohibitive to go, if there's long travel distances and hotels, like there is a cost associated with attending for sure, unless you're
it was like $2,100 for me to experience it. So it's not free, but I mean, it would cost a fortune to sign up for this if I had to pay for it,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine if you went and did
regular day? If you pay to go again, it's $2,000. So that's the value they're allocating to it. Yes. So it's a $2,000 to $2,500 value experience that's included with your vehicle. Yes. So I understand there can be cost limitations with traveling, but if it's something that you can swing, I would 100%, 1,000,000%, say go. One of the guys who I was referencing a little bit earlier, who had pretty high expectations and didn't come in with super high expectations. At the end of the day, we're like, what would you say to someone who's on the fence? He was like, give me your token, I'll go again. So,
Right.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So it truly does. I personally haven't heard someone who didn't love it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's naysayers, but in my world, and I talk to more Bronco people than probably anybody,
Probably.
everybody loves it. And it's very valuable in my assessment. So
yeah, and I highly recommend it because it's funny because I didn't tell you this, but friends of ours that live in town, Jason McGuire, his wife had reached out to me and he was like, hey, how do we go to that Raptor experience? We're going to be in Vegas. And I was like, well, you can't go to the Raptor experience because you didn't buy a Raptor, but you can definitely go to Bronco Off-Roadeo. So you need to reach out and find out like if they have one when you're going to be in Vegas. So people are starting to, the word is kind of getting out there. But we definitely need to do better as Bronco owners to figure out how we continue to get the masses to understand.
Yeah.
I will. Well, I wouldn't call it breaking news, but I'll share some information that we haven't personally released yet, which is fine. We've been doing our member days. So it's a day that's reserved just for Bronco Nation members at Off-Roadeo. And our last location that we haven't announced is Vegas. And so we're going to be doing Bronco Nation Takeover Day on October 30th. In Vegas, the day before SEMA. So
wink, wink.
I'm checking my phone for my invitation.
If you want to, you're invited. Well, you just used your token, Tony, so you can't. I mean,
I thought it was a takeover. Takeover implies that we're storming the gate.
We need to remember.
I'm your token, guys.
I should have been down in Texas.
No,
Tony, what you do is you get on that. There was that shooting range for the helicopter shooting range around there. You just take it over that way.
I am doing that. Can we all go in together? I think it's like
that looks fun.
$800. I think it's like $800.
So
with you
the
guys.
craziest thing when you're coming through there and they go, hey, just so you guys know, if you do happen to see helicopters shooting guns at the ground, don't worry, there's not an invasion. It is a Vegas experience. And you're like, well, I'm so glad you warned me before I saw a helicopter.
As everything in the world is going to shit. Don't worry about it, guys.
And suddenly it's Red Dawn over here.
Well,
it totally was the implication that was not happening. Like when
musicians don't ride in helicopters, so.
Well, I just figured they might be shooting at pigs like they do down in Texas.
She goes, is this like Texas? I said, no, they don't worry about wild pigs around here. Yeah. We did see wild horses, though. We did see wild horses.
That's funny.
Don't hate on me. At least I have that knowledge.
So, Tony, what was one takeaway, though, that you did think like, they probably could have done that just a little bit better?
Communicate about that I needed a rental car. I caught on to that at the last second. That would be great. And I did, because I had what I consider to be like the premier hotel experience going to Texas. I loved the fact that when I walked in, there was a Bronco Nation kind of reception or meter, greeter there. And I was just kind of like, oh, okay. So now I get it. This all happens out at the base camp. This doesn't happen at this hotel. And so I think I was talking to Jordan about this. I probably would have stayed on the strip instead of paying what I paid.
I was going to say, I could see that swaying your location to stay, because it is a premium that you're paying to stay at Red Rocks. Yeah. Compared to staying on the strip.
I told Tony this. I said, because I was in Vegas. I've been to Vegas 4 times in the last month. So
big roller.
Plenty of Vegas for me. Yeah. And the win was cheaper than Red Rocks.
Wow.
Like,
Red Rocks wasn't cheap.
I'm going to the win. Yeah. Like I ain't paying that for Red Rocks.
You stay at SEMA?
Granted, Granted, Red Rocks does have $10 blackjack tables on weeknights, but. And the wind
we have not, we have been to Vegas
there too. It's an easy drive from there.
It is.
It's just boom.
We've been to Vegas twice not as much as Jordan, of course, but we've been to Vegas twice in the last 2 years, and we've not gambled at all.
The last overland trip I did, I flew into Vegas and we drove all the way to Colorado.
He stayed at the D.
Yeah, the D, which is but I gave Vegas when I got back. I was beat up. I was tired. I just wanted to crappy cheeseburger, and I went down to the little restaurant, got that, and I put 20 in a slot machine. I was like, there you go, Vegas. I gave you some money. Now leave me the F alone.
I'm going back
And
to my
I'm
room,
going
going to bed.
because I hadn't been in a bed in a week. So
And I'm sure he stunk.
no, I took a shower.
This is bad, but like penny slots and blackjack, I am there.
We love
Oh,
blackjack.
we love blackjack, but that's the
Love
problem.
blackjack.
We used to go to Tunica, Mississippi here, and because it was only
It's like 4 hours.
Yeah, 3-4 hour drive, and they would have like $5 tables.
Yes,
and it was
yes.
like it was like, and I'm stupid, and I'm not ever going to act like I'm some master mechanic at counting cards, but it was fun. We got to learn, and the last time we were there, it was like $15, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll give you the 15, but I'm only going to play for about an hour because we always say like, here's a couple $100 each.
Yep. And
If
when
we went to Disney World, guess what?
And we don't go to the ATM.
Yeah.
If we run out of our $200 or whatever it is we decide that we're gonna do, he has his money, I have mine. I watch him play the rest of his money out, or he watched me play the rest of my money out. Like we don't play that. Go back to the.
We
ATM.
did have a chip one time. We had a chip left over. We were eating our garbagey breakfast they gave us.
The buffet.
Yeah, and we had, I forget, it was like a $25 chip or something.
Yeah, it was.
And I told her, she's like, what are we gonna do with this? Cash out? And I was like, no, we'll just go throw it on a table. So I put it on a table. We pushed the first time, hit blackjack the second time. I grabbed my money.
And he said, I'll take it. And they go, you don't walk away on blackjack. He was like, well, we do. And then we went and cashed it out and put it in the gas tank.
Yeah, I was like, there, we had fun.
there is two $15 tables at Caesars, which is shocking. There's still like $15 tables on the strip. But like Cosmo and Wynn all start at 25, even on weeknights. But Red Rock, since you're off strip, you can find $10 tables on weeknights.
Nice.
So if y'all come to, I shouldn't endorse that. I forget.
All thoughts and opinions are from Bronco Nation. Kidding.
No.
Jordan's here on his own accord.
Justice Gordon Parker.
Yep.
No, but like Vegas does nothing for me, but I would definitely go experience this again.
And I would absolutely stay at Red Rocks again if I had
I
the
would
money
love
to
to know
do
what
it.
they're going to charge for Raptor owners for a second time, since it's $2,000 for regular off-roadeo.
Considering guest fees are $1,000, I'll let
Yeah.
you do the math on that one.
Yeah.
What I did learn is that Raptor Assault, I believe the guest fee for Raptor Assault is $1,500. And also at Raptor Assault, you share a Raptor with another owner.
Yep.
You
Where
sure
Raptor
do.
Rodeo, you get your own
You
Raptor.
just done that, right?
It was been a couple of years ago, but yeah, you get paired up. And it's a weird deal because everybody's there is like you. I mean, you walk in and it's like you sit down at the table, and I was looking around and there was another guy who had the same style of hat I had on, and he was wearing the same jacket that I was wearing.
50-year-old white man, yeah.
Yeah, with the same beard, you know. And to your point, it was my 50th birthday. That's when I got the Raptor, and that's when I went. So, yeah, you just.
I mean, who else can afford a Raptor?
But yeah, it's all, you know, you're riding with some guy and it's like, oh, I'm like, what do you do? I own an IT company. What do you do? I own an IT company. And it's like, no shit.
Like I say, when I am the diversity, that might be your sign there's a problem.
You looked around the room with my group.
Is the Raptor course for Ranger Raptors 2? Not at this time.
I talked about that on my mid-size truck show this past weekend. No, they'll do something for Ranger Raptor, but I don't think it'll be there.
Mm-mm.
They probably do it with
probably Johnson Valley, kind of somewhere like that, because those trucks would be
shocked if they did something for Ranger. Honestly, genuinely.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, they do something with the STs.
That's true. That's true.
What? Do they really?
Yeah, Explorer and Edge, you get to go to Charlotte.
Huh.
I think it's Charlotte.
You take your Edge ST to the track, Kelly?
No, she has a Bronco, Jordan. Well, I had a Bronco.
I had one of my customers actually take their you use Ford's cars, obviously. But I had one of my customers do the Explorer ST, and he said he had a blast. I was very shocked at all of it.
Wait for the Timberline. Will they take you camping?
Yeah.
Glamping?
No, they'll take you on the roads that take you to Raptor Valley.
Yeah, there you go. We offered it.
Because that's what the commercials are.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is wild how much money Ford is putting it. I shouldn't say dumping. It's wild how much money Ford is investing.
Investing. There you go.
Well,
Experience.
Jeep used to do something, but I think they backed off of it.
The thing is, if Ranger Raptor doesn't get anything, it's the first Ford performance vehicle that doesn't get an experience.
Yeah, it's like Tim Bartz just said, any Ford performance vehicle gets an experience.
Yeah, it's called a car payment.
So far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's free for the first 30 days.
You get to experience being left out.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you're like, oh, insurance is what?
Ouch!
I know I sit there and go, okay, the Mustang comes how many months before the Ranger Raptor comes? How many car do you have to make?
Ranger Raptor. Allie, are like demand wise, is the Ranger Raptor demand higher than F-150 Raptor?
Yeah.
You're
really?
Yes. And
Technically number
here's
one.
why I think. This is my opinion, not Ford's, obviously. I think it's price point.
What's the Ranger Raptor price?
57, basically.
50s, like high 50s, mid 60s.
It's a lot of truck for that price.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing.
And this is not Ford related at all. I saw the new Lexus GX 550.
Mm-hmm. We
Sign
know.
me up. Sign
We
me
know
up.
where your heart is. It's
Sign
okay.
me
We'll wait till you see the Land Cruiser version of that.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. It's like I didn't think I would like it more than Defender in person. It is so sexy, and the color they had it in, that brown, like the press color. Oh, I called my Lexus dealer, the local Lexus dealer.
I was gonna say,
Wow,
man, Jordan even has a Lexus dealer.
He's got an old school Rolodex. He just
the
pulls out.
local Lexus dealer.
He hands it to his assistant.
When he said it about the brown color, I did start to sit here and go, Jordan, how old are you? Are you a 50-year-old man in that body?
Great color. It's like that kind of metallic-y golden brown that's on the Defender that you wouldn't buy on any other car except like a boxy off-roader with a black roof and black wheels. And I saw it at Overland Expo and I was like, all the Defender features and all the Defender luxury and no reliability issues.
Billions for 2024, you're not wrong.
The streets up there, I told Kelly the first time I ever drove to Detroit was with Kelly, and I was like, how is it for vehicles?
Doesn't that look good? That's a good looking car.
It really is.
It is good looking.
It's sexy.
But I told Kelly, it's like, how is this the place of the automobile, and you guys don't know what a road is?
Because we have two, they have two seasons. It's called construction in winter.
Facts.
I used that in an essay in 4th grade, Kelly.
You did?
I did when I was in elementary school in Michigan.
It's true.
Oh. So he was that far advanced.
Way beyond my years. I thought I really did something, just like in that sport review.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
You should. You really should. That's our special event, Allie, at Woodward, like our secret experience. It's gonna be a viewing of all of my bloopers.
Don't talk about
That's
Woodward.
fantastic.
We're not gonna be there.
It's much more exciting. We actually confirmed it today. That secret experience. So
nice.
Perfect.
Dave and Kelly, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna laugh if I just
I'm covering
a couple
our
days
first
off work
guest.
and I can't go.
What, Allie?
I'm like, I'm gonna be really sad if I took a couple days off work and I can't go.
If you
I text Laura because I missed the part that it's a lottery. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, but you're media, Allie.
I know
So
you
you
have
can use
to.
my media passes for that.
I asked Laura if I could if I don't get picked, if I can just hide in the car.
We have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that have registered. Like,
I'm sure.
You can't take everybody. We would love to, but
Well,
Allie,
ask for forgiveness.
you might know some people. So
Allie with All Terrain Nation.
Allie,
Allie, you got
press.
to abuse this.
There's got to be a press option.
we're doing our own media day here at Bronco Nation.
No, it is bummer because
Give me a
the
pass.
Stampede,
I'll
which
be-
is the Stampede we have to cover, is right during Woodward, and Woodward's been a nice
It's
summer.
legit.
I
that same
told
weekend.
Justin this from day one because he had reached out to me. He goes, "Hey, I've seen some of your stuff. I really want you to come down and cover some of this." I'm like, "I would love to. When is it?" Told me the same weekend as Woodward. I'm like, "Dude, I can't. I
Somebody
physically
else
can't."
on Facebook was pushing their event like in Indiana the same
Yes.
weekend. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, bro, that's the weekend of Woodward. What are you thinking? Like,
Yeah.
no offense to anybody. I would like events are amazing and people do a great job, but like of all the weekends, There are
It cracked me up
I
because I saw the back and forth on that one where they're like, well, how's that going to impact an Indiana event? It was like, because it's like
People come from
drive
all over the world.
crazy.
and Alaska. We had people from Alaska last year. We had a guy from Iceland come to Supercell East. So
You change his tire?
I did not.
Let's go to Iceland and meet this person.
Hold on. I'm not gonna. This is kind of a flex. Not really, but kind of.
Jordan, we expect nothing less.
No, but somebody else took their Bronco to Iceland.
Oh,
Nice.
Cool.
I know. He tagged us in a story today. I'm like,
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Allie said earlier, I keep dropping hints. So
Let's do this thing.
Dude, I'm
Tony,
in.
can you get
Tony's
your
in.
Raptor over
Kelly's
there?
coming with me. Wait.
I'll take it over there.
It may be a little too wide for the streets, though.
no. All right, Dave,
Where I'm going, we won't need roads.
have you seen what they drive over there?
Do what?
Have you seen what they drive over there?
Unimogs.
No, I've seen their big,
Yeah.
their big ice vehicles on 40-inch
I'm
tires.
not gonna lie, Jordan. I cannot remember when you and I had talked last, but no joke, I was on Iceland TikTok for like 2 weeks after. I'm like, it knows. I'm going.
Oh yeah, it knows.
100%.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It'll happen in the next 5 years.
You,
Maybe
And I'll just
10.
drop it in the Dropbox and you can edit while I'm in Iceland.
There you go. That's fine. I have zero interest in going to Iceland.
I want to go. Kelly, you can ride with me.
No, you
I'm in.
girls go. Like,
I'm in, Allie.
you send me to Tokyo and Australia, and I'm happy. I could care less
No.
about Greenland, Iceland, all that area.
There's something wrong with you.
There's plants in Australia.
There's
that
lots
create
wrong
the
with him.
Well, in that area currently, there was a submarine.
I
that
mean,
disappeared,
okay, no,
so-
I really do want to go to
They found it
Australia,
in
but like,
parking lot.
why
Off the
Tokyo?
coast of Cape Cod.
It's
Yeah.
off the coast of Cape Cod. Yeah, I saw a picture.
Dave.
It was closer to U.S. than it was to Iceland.
I love that Jordan is schooling you right now.
Okay, Dave,
I don't know where the damn Titanic is.
Dave doesn't need to go. We'll have more fun. Don't you?
No, you would.
100%.
You can
You
see
would.
the-
Grumpy Bear will be over here bitching about
Grumpy
it
Bear.
the whole time.
I
going,
can't
"This is
wait. I'm
costing me what?"
excited. It could be in
100%.
a year. It could be in 5 years. I don't care. Me and Bucky are ready.
We want positive, can-do attitudes on this trip. So
I don't have 5 years left in me. I'm getting too old. Let's do
I
this
don't
thing.
know.
Shut up, Tony.
I don't
What
either.
did Vaughn like beat
Oh,
the
he's
5 years out of
He's
you on
only trying to expedite it so it happens sooner.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tony.
So Dave, I'll go. I'll be going with them. You can go to the
Yeah.
Smoky
Sweet.
Mountain thing, and because I think Lauren's taking us for rides there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm down.
that? Have fun.
See,
Laura
we're just
will
gonna
change
go
tire.
around the whole island.
Dave's scared that he'd have to change a tire. That's why
No,
Dave's
no,
not
no.
going, because he doesn't want to lose in the tire changing competition.
Oh,
That's
My
that's
why
shoulder,
it.
Jordan, last time I told you, my shoulder's been
Dave-
out. It's getting
Dave
better.
is systematically avoiding all the events I'm going to be at.
Dave, what?
Dave is
They don't make run flats.
avoiding all the events I'm going to be at after I accepted
You
this
wouldn't even take
challenge.
a selfie with me at Stamp or at Off-Roadeo or whatever it was. Supercell.
You never asked.
I did. You
Oh,
were
you
like,
did.
you were being funny, but you were like, nah. I was like, okay, F that guy. That's all right.
Probably
He
because
was
I look like
busy.
I had just been ran over by 3 freight trains,
Making breakfast.
No, this
eating
is,
the 5,000, 5 loaves and 2 fish over here. Come on.
Jesus Jordan,
No, I do not need that. No.
fishes and loaves over here.
Get off of this before I really.
Yeah, I know we're gonna get you in trouble. Well, Jordan, we appreciate you being on here, buddy. We really do.
Keep me up.
And once again, I appreciate that you allowed Tony to be on your show, but you've never allowed me to be on your show.
Just Dave, come to an event. We're doing a live stream at Woodward.
I'm doing a live stream from Gallenberg.
I'll make sure to schedule ours at the same time.
We should totally do like a party.
See,
No, we should do a party from like 2 different locations.
Jordan Starlink wouldn't work. That's the
True,
problem.
true. It would not be
In Detroit, it'll work.
Actually, that might be a really cool thing. Saying, "Hey, we're at Woodward.
I
Here's
was
the
there.
Stampede.
I know.
We'll have."
I
more
do have
people."
some decent ideas.
You do.
Well,
You
Kelly,
married
if you pull that off, that'll be really impressive.
Oh, all we have to do is just create this StreamYard.
Yeah, this is easy, dude.
This is super easy, and you guys stream from there. We stream from.
I don't need a
there.
fancy studio like you guys have now with plants and Laura's. Probably those are all Laura's plants.
Look at how
she brought from
fancy
her
it.
house.
Look at how fancy this place is.
I know. So you guys you're only doing like every couple weeks streams now, right?
Do every other Wednesday.
Every other Wednesday.
Every other Wednesday.
All right. I would tell people to come watch you, but you were 50,000 subs to my 10,000. I'm pretty sure they know where to find you.
Wow. Wow.
It's not a measuring contest, but you got more
What
than
you're
me.
measuring.
That you're measuring.
Our dog's nice.
We did one on we did it on Friday. They asked if we wanted to do one this Wednesday, but I just did my timesheet for the first half of July. I'm like, I'm good. Thanks though.
What a terrible thing to have to get paid to travel.
I know.
Here's somebody told me, they're like, your job's so glamorous. I'm like, I'm very blessed, very fortunate, but it is also consistently 80 to 90 hour weeks.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Traveling's not as fun when you have to do it as you would think.
I used to love it, and then it just became like you had no idea where you were.
I lost track of days. I'm like, okay, like you stay in so many courtyards and then you're like,
Which one did I wake up in today?
You're like, what state am I in?
yeah.
Well, it's funny because there was a job posting at work that I was considering applying for, but it's like you must be you must be willing to travel 25 to 50% of the time. And we're not talking domestically. We're talking like Egypt, South Africa, Costa Rica,
See, I'm down. Like
UK.
Send me the job description, Kelly.
Well, if I was 25, or our daughter was out of the house, then it would be a totally different story. But that whole 13-year-old in the house kind of makes things different.
Send me the link.
It's already closed, Jordan.
Oh, bummer.
You don't want to work.
You don't want to work for
This company might
anyway.
be selling out soon.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
They're not as cool as Ford.
My last day with this company is on
Good news
August
is I
26th.
don't work for Ford, Dave, but thanks for
No,
that.
I know. No, I'm just saying, but they're not as cool as like being around Fords. We're past that, Jordan. We're past that.
Yes.
No, but he wanted to clarify, so nobody thought.
Yes, I always got to clarify.
Yes, that's the politics.
Tony, I'm glad
we
we about to bring you on the show where you can say 5
that's
words.
stuck in my brain.
I'm having a blast. I don't know.
And for those wondering, this is totally what like After Dark is like.
Yeah, this is backstage. We're just streaming it.
This is backstage.
Yep.
So when we leave in a few minutes, this will still continue, and this is still what's gonna happen.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't say anything that's going to be trapped out here forever.
You need that job listing tomorrow. You'll know.
Back.
You woman.
I drank half of it last night.
Buzzkill.
I asked you if you wanted some last night. You missed your opportunity.
I was probably asleep when you asked.
No,
What are
you
you guys-
weren't.
What are you guys talking about?
The amount of assumptions that go on in the super chat are wild. People are like,
Oh.
my relationships, my salary. Like, goodness gracious.
Oh no, yeah.
I'm concerned some of y'all work for the FBI and or my bank.
Well, they're probably concerned. Jordan, if you just
Multiple
had a soul patch with the backwards hat, they'd be like, "Oh, look, it's a younger version."
Of Dave.
Yeah, you had to steal my backwards hat. I
You
understand.
keep telling yourself that, Dave. You
But
keep
look, this is real dirt. From,
Tony. He
That's
was
actually
doing it. Here
from
we go.
Off-Roadeo.
yeah, look,
Is it
that's
sweat?
off-roadeo dirt.
Do I
That
have
looks
a hat in here? I feel left out.
It's it's not sweat. It is actually
No,
dirt.
that's
Because I
literally
did tell him
dirt.
before he started videoing. I was like, "You've got dirt on your hat." He's like, "Oh, okay, okay."
That's why I wear like a dirt colored hat, so it just blends in.
There you go.
Well, I'm a brand,
True.
a poor brand, but you know,
Jordan's
a
like,
brand
"I am
nonetheless.
too." Jordan Parker.
Yeah.
Private PI. Solving the Bronco cases.
Our daughter did put her shirt on today that we got her, and Dave was like, "Maybe we should have gotten her a bigger size." So she's gonna get like three wears out of it. So we're gonna have to find somebody that goes to Ranger, or Raptor
Yeah.
Off-Roadeo to get her
Raptor.
another one.
Oh.
Or Ford.
You
Hey,
can
Ford.
shop them all. You can shop them all at thebronconation.com.
Look, always selling, man.
Are the
He's always
Raptor,
selling. I
are the
love it.
Raptor ones up?
Yeah.
Is it the same stuff? Same
Uh,
same
A
shirt?
lot of it is.
Oh, well then
Because
maybe
I
I'll
went
order
on the
one.
other day. Oh, I probably had to wait until the first day, huh?
We have
Dave is an indie brand. Nurse AJ says this is the most fun she's had in a month. Of course, I told her I was gonna have a moment of silence because poor Nurse AJ broke her foot, right?
And she had surgery last week.
Oh yeah, and she can't
She's
drive.
down for 8 weeks.
Yep.
I need this energy in our super chat next week, please. Just like
You know, you get that energy when you invite the right people. I'm just saying. Tony, are you willing?
I'm in.
valid point.
Uh,
I won't
I don't know if Bronco
I
Nation
will say
wants the chaos on there.
they're very respectful in your live streams, and curious. They want the information and stuff. And Jordan's very business. It's business Jordan. Laura is very business. They're not there to monkey around. We're here to monkey around, Jordan. That's this show. I should rename the show Monkey Around Bronco.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just invite us all back out to the experience, and we'll just stream the whole thing live with.
And then I was just gonna say, and then we could stream
God.
from Vegas.
Yeah.
From the $15 crowd or
Now imagine if we
Blackjack
were all
table.
in person. That'd be great.
Okay, so during SEMA week, you guys all come out to SEMA, and we'll all just enjoy each other's company at the blackjack table. No live
Dude,
streaming, none of this crap.
SEMA's a no-go this year because nobody is going to be there. No, of manufacturers.
I'll be there.
Ford will have a very minimal
That's
presence.
all that matters, guys. Jordan's going.
I love SEMA. I've been going to SEMA since I was probably 8, and I love SEMA.
Oh no, we had a blast.
Yeah.
Ate some awful nachos from Guy Fieri's, whatever.
That we did.
Let me
That's
send
pretty
you good
awesome.
restaurant recommendations, Dave. Please.
This was a different channel. They had a different approach to food. We just went with it, and I no longer associate with that. So
I will
There we
send
go.
you the Vegas do's and don'ts.
who's the guy that yells Hell's Kitchen guy?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon
I want to go to his place. We're going to move up. We're going from shitty
Overrated.
American.
Overpriced. No. You got to go off the strip.
Don't leave us hanging, man. Where?
Well, I'll send it to you.
The homeless camps off the strip? Because that's all I know of off the
Kitchen
strip.
there.
No, there's some amazing restaurants in Summerlin. There's some amazing restaurants in the Arts District. There's one specific, Esther's Italian in the Arts District. Some of the best Italian food ever. Their homemade bread is next level. Their meatballs, phenomenal. Pasta, phenomenal. Drinks, exceptional. Esther's Italian. See you there, Tim.
Tim will be in SEMA.
Black Sheep in Summerlin, Henderson area. Phenomenal Asian fusion food. Spago is one on the strip that's exceptional. Pricey, but really good. Tao at Venetian Palazzo is horrendous. Never go. Delilah at Wynn is phenomenal. Highly recommend. St. Honore Donuts, which went viral on TikTok, overrated. Don't go.
I feel like this is an NPR show suddenly. So, where is the good places to eat?
Setabello Pizza in Summerlin, phenomenal. Great martini. Really good pizza. So
Where's the best? Have you had the best espresso martini somewhere, or do you not do espresso martinis?
I did for a spell. I'm trying to think.
He was young. He needed the money.
Because I love me an espresso martini with some Baileys floated in it.
So this is going to sound again bougie, so just take it with a grain of salt. But the St. Regis brand, like the hotel brand, has really, really good espresso martinis. They don't have a location in Vegas, but I went for my friend's birthday in Atlanta. Really good.
Nice. Tim's over here. Tim Barks, get your own show. Oh wait, you have one show. No.
Tim, when you're at SEMA is when the Bronco Nation takeover is going to be. So you could totally do your off-roading experience there.
Ellie, I don't know if you're into lychee martinis, and I know Nobu is like very influencer-ish, but the lychee martini at Nobu in Vegas is really good.
I'll try anything once.
But don't go to the Caesar's Palace location because you can never get reservations. But most people don't know they have a location at the Virgin Hotel off the strip that you can just walk in and get a table. Highly recommend.
So is it the real
Now
Caesar?
everybody knows.
Like, did Caesar live there?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
the 36 people that are currently watching know.
Is
Totally.
that what we're down to?
They're out.
Well, I like randomly, I don't even know why, somebody asked, oh, I know what it was. It was a couple streams ago. Somebody asked like my outfit details. And so I gave them to them. And now we have Jordan's Fashion Minute every live stream.
Jordan's
That's
fit
hilarious.
check.
Jordan's
And
Fashion
you need to have Laura's plant hour.
Laura's plant. Hey, look at that. Can we just admire my plant for 1 second?
It's a fake plant, right? You travel too much to have a real one.
Real. It survived. I walked in the door yesterday and it was alive and well, and I was so thankful because those are pricey.
Yeah, because you were
You're
5 weeks on the
expecting
road,
it
you
to be
said.
dead.
Yep.
Well, so guys, this is what it feels like to go to a Raptor Off-Roadeo. You learn
Not
about
at all. Not
martinis,
at all. This is not what it
plants.
feels like to go to Raptor Off-Roadeo, guys. Do not take this as any hint of the sort.
No, seriously, guys,
Together.
if you have a Raptor, it's a 100%
100%.
worth it.
Yes.
You know, that's my first world problems of being a whiny journalist. That
I would absolutely go again.
yes,
I
I
would
would
too.
do it again in a heartbeat. I would not go to the
Someone
normal
with a
one.
Raptor, let me go with you.
I would.
And well, Jordan, you have to say that. I'm still gonna
I
be
don't.
Grumpy Bear. I'll go to Moab. I'll say this. I'll go to Moab. I'll start there. Maybe I'll work my way to Texas. Probably not. I don't.
Texas-
I
I
don't-
would actually like to go to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. We'll get some
New
lobster
Hampshire's-
rolls.
Beautiful. Yes. I think Texas overall is my favorite. I think. Just there's like a great variety of terrain. The base camp's beautiful. Texas is my personal favorite.
I love that Texas is one package all by itself. Like you don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to it's all on one property. And the
Yeah.
guides are amazing.
They are. The guides are incredible everywhere. I think Texas also has like a real sense of place. Like you
Yeah.
definitely get that Texas ranch Austin
Yes.
vibe, which I really love. They all have a wonderful sense of place. I think Vermont or New Hampshire too, with like the ski lodge sort of vibe. But Texas, like you feel like you're, you are on a ranch. But
Yeah.
Mhm. Literally.
It makes us fall in love with Texas every time we go.
Yeah.
right. Jessica said LL Bean or Urban Outfitters. I don't own anything from LL Bean.
But he does Urban Outfitters.
I think I've shopped at Urban Outfitters once and I got a hoodie and I have since sold it. So,
Oh, sold it.
well, like on Poshmark, like,
Yeah.
or maybe I donated it. I don't know. Either one of the
I
two.
actually haven't sold on Poshmark, but I've started looking because my daughter has some old boutique kind of clothes that he keeps getting on to me about selling, and I might sell them on Poshmark.
It's great to get rid of stuff and just have a little extra cash, like especially for nicer items.
Mhm.
Tony,
Right.
how you doing, buddy?
But
Start our own stream.
Yeah.
We'll talk about hookers and beer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And we come full circle.
not
Yeah,
the biggest
right.
thing to do, but
All right, guys. So I gotta somehow wrap this thing up. So All Terrain Nation gives it 2 thumbs up. We would definitely do it again.
4 actually.
There we go.
making endorsement.
Tony, you would probably do it again, right?
Absolutely do it again. I'd pay to do it again.
Allie,
I would rather take somebody else's ticket, but I would pay to do it again.
It only costs $95,000, and you can do it again, Tony.
Facts.
If I could get mine sold, I probably would do it again, but I'd have to find somebody who hasn't watched my Instagram, and that's a lot of people that haven't watched it.
Show off.
No, he said it's a lot of people who haven't watched his Instagram.
haven't watched it.
Oh, I thought you said have watched
I
it.
thought he was going to go that way too, and I was like, "Wow, bold statement there, brother."
No, I go the other way.
Cotton.
Does not matter. what
Tony,
I
you
put
have a
out. I
video
get
coming?
3 likes, and they're all my family.
I'll get you a buyer, Tony.
There you go.
Tony, you got a video or anything coming out on your experience?
Yep. Yeah, I do.
We do
I
too.
need to edit. I have like 18 videos I need edited. I need an editor.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, you can watch the Bronco Nation's full overview of Bronco Raptor Off-Roadeo.
Is it gonna be rowdy?
Definitely be there.
It's going to be rowdy, and you're going to see some great pictures of me in a helmet because I've never
Those
looked.
helmets did not make anybody look good at all.
We were auditioning. For
I looked
Space-
sort of cute. You shut it.
Space
Hold on.
balls.
I'm just going to show this on my own accord, so it's out there in the world.
Jordan's like, let's get this over now.
I'm going to cancel myself.
He's like, nobody's watching
He
this.
said cancel himself.
Watch
I
it
might
go
have-
viral
I
tomorrow.
might have deleted the photo off my phone, which would be a good
Smart.
move.
Smart.
Hold on.
Smart move.
It's in here
I
somewhere.
had to take like 7 photos to get me in my helmet that I looked okay in. Love those sunglasses.
Yeah, thank you. And the tongue, like the absolute concentration.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a racer.
Total business right
It's a
there.
man.
Yeah, it is.
What
This is
you're not gonna
The
break
face
the
of a
record.
professional racer, guys.
That's gangster.
Oh yeah, they told us you're not going to break the record today on this track.
For what?
We couldn't. They only gave us one shot.
For jumping it?
I only got one shot at that side and then the other side, and that was it.
Yeah. We only got one pass at it.
He told us to go buy a $95,000 Bronco, and you can do that.
Valid.
3 more times.
My second.
All right, so whether it be
Oh,
2-wheel
okay.
drive, 4-wheel drive, this live stream is going to end some point.
It doesn't matter what you drive as long as it's a Bronco and you're a member of Bronco Nation.
Hey, speaking of which, I did get my
Nice
membership
plug.
card.
Yeah, we did.
Got my membership card, buddy. You know, I hate to tell you, it went in the garbage. I was like, what am I going to do with this? It was cool. What am I going to do with this?
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. Mine's in
I
a
still
box
have the
somewhere
box
after
full
I
of.
moved.
You paid for it anyway, Dave. So that's what
That's true. Hey, that coin will get you in places.
Really?
it will.
I didn't know.
This has been your All Terrain Nation, and we're
Well, it
out.
didn't,
Peace,
but-
everybody.